Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for Below Grade Level. Put that 17 magazine away and listen to this.
Look down in the crowded hall. You'll see there's a beauty standing. Is she really everywhere? A reflection. One always calls out to you. The other shy and quiet. Could there be two different girls who look the same at Sweet Valley, Sweet Valley?
Hello and welcome to Below Grade Level, the podcast where we read the books of your childhood and we ruin them. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Z. With me as always is Jonathan Eaton.
Hello.
Bekah Eaton.
Hello.
And our special guests today from New York are Brian Wade.
Hello.
And Joe Wade or Marshall?
Marshall, how dare you? Hashtag feminism.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding. I don't care.
Patriarchy.
Well, that's why I asked.
I don't care. Either. It doesn't matter. Call me whatever you want. Joe's good.
I did the
Becca
same
says
thing.
it's a pain in the ass to change your name. So I didn't know.
It is. It took me seveul years to even start the process.
That's the real
I
reason.
did the exact same thing the last time Kelly was on the show. I was like, Kelly, like, what's your last name? I don't know if you changed it or not.
On Facebook,
So,
it's
yeah.
Marshall Wade, and that's
Joe Marshall
what counts,
and Brian
right?
Wade.
Woot woot.
Yeah, Facebook is more official than Social Security at this point.
Today we are rounding up Sweet Valley High, Double Love. It's
Number
the first
one.
book. We're finishing it. The last episode we recorded yesterday, and I barely remember it. Because you can't tell on the recording, but I was drunk.
I think you might be able to tell a
I
little
think that's
bit.
for the listeners to
Not
decide.
much.
I know, I
I
remember
couldn't tell that much, honestly. I didn't
Yeah.
think Chris was...
I remember
think you-
completely losing my place on the page
I
while
didn't-
reading it.
That happened one time, I think but you went on a tangent and you're like, where am I? It's fine. So yeah, Joe, Brian, how are you guys doing?
We're
Oh, you know.
Surviving. I hope this podcast finds you well.
No coughing. Coughing goes out the
I
window.
think we're okay.
Yeah, we're all
We'll
right.
let you know in
Jesus.
14 days.
Okay, cool. So Sweet Valley High. Becky, you wanted to ask Joe a question.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to see, because, Joe, I don't think we've ever talked about this.
Don't
and
think
we've
we
known
have.
Each other a long
Never came
time.
up.
Yeah. Did you ever read these books when you were younger?
I definitely did not. I have a vague memory of the TV show. I think that
Yeah.
I don't know that I ever even knew that they were books. And I think
okay.
I feel like maybe it was because this one was what, like 81, right? Or 83?
83.
83.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, I may have
well
missed
before.
this boat
Yeah.
a little bit. I think the show was more, maybe my sister watched it a little bit more and I kind of caught it because I have
Yeah,
such
I'm not
vague.
sure when the show came out.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember about the show is the theme song.
Can you give us a
And
little
the only
taste?
thing I remembered about
Wait,
these
wait.
books
Ooh,
were
this
their
was a
names.
show?
Yeah, it was a show.
I will
Well, it's
not.
books,
Yeah.
and then they made it into a show, which I
Oh,
do remember being very
Brian.
like mystery oriented, like solving mysteries.
This is the SVU, the Sweet Valley universe. There is
SVU.
so much Sweet Valley. There's Sweet Valley High, there's Sweet Valley Twins, there's Sweet Valley University, as we found out last night from the Sweet Valley expert, Christine Schrader. There's
Sweet Valley
there's
Confidential, which is
SVU.
what you think it is.
I need a little backstory. Is Sweet Valley like Springfield in The Simpsons? It just kind of exists in a pocket universe?
Yeah,
Or is it?
it's a California town.
Yeah, specifically California.
California, bro.
Wait, is that Brittany Daniels? Wait, isn't she a person?
Brittany Daniels? That
Yeah.
sounds like
When
a
did the
person.
show come out?
That's a
Did you?
person.
Hold on.
Oh, you
hold
have
on.
the theme song.
Oh, yeah. There's some grooves.
It's very 90s looking.
Oh, shit, that's awesome.
No one can see this. I'll send it to everyone later.
Well, and like, as we also have learned, Sweet Valley...
Hold on, we need to get to the chorus.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, shut up.
That's all I remember.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Nailed it.
So,
Yeah, I definitely thought these were all mysteries. Like, I definitely thought that they solved mysteries together.
They do at some point.
So I was very,
we-
very surprised at the content, or lack thereof in the first portion of this book.
When you say lack thereof, you have not listened to the second half of this book when everything happens.
Oh boy.
And we'll get into that in a moment when we do our recap.
This will definitely
You have
be
no idea what
this will
you're
be
in
the first
for.
time I've ever
Oh.
read the first third and the last third of a book.
Just skip the middle act. Oh, shit.
Now, as someone that occasionally listens to this show, Joe, do you feel like you understand what's going on in the book with us doing what we do?
Interrupting constantly.
I could, but I also the only time I ever have to listen to podcasts is while I'm working, which is why I have a hard time with like very narrative podcasts at all because I'm gonna get
So
interrupted.
you want something that's not focused.
I love a conversational podcast, so it's great. I just tune in and out. If anything, it's better. I also did listen to the last episode of Animorphs with no further context, so that was just
You didn't need
incredible. I prefer just
truly did not need
just
any.
kind of tune
So,
in
like,
and out.
from-
Don't know what's going on. Definitely
Yeah.
couldn't keep track of
From
the
an
characters in
entertainment
this.
standpoint,
It's Oh yes, very entertaining.
I mean,
Okay.
I read the whole book and I still didn't fucking understand what was
Yeah.
happening. So you,
I
really
just
didn't
couldn't
miss
really
anything.
like keep names to characters very well. Like I still am not 100% sure which one's the nerd and which one's the bitch.
Well, see, I honestly, I think that's why we do the voices, because it helps us
Totally.
figure out who the fuck is
I think that's a
who.
good call.
Because like, otherwise, I don't goddamn know the difference between Todd and Steven and
I mean, they're
Rick
all
and
such,
fucking all these people.
Like
Well, there isn't
three-dimensional,
one because
rich,
they
well-developed
both want to
characters.
fuck all of them.
yeah,
I guess
yeah.
except for
Do
Rick.
we have a
so
Chad?
Elizabeth is not into
Do we
Rick.
have a Chad?
There's not a chat.
Not
Well,
yet.
no, not yet. I mean, in spirit, Rick is a Chad, but
They're all Chads when you
I
get
don't
down
think
to
Rick
it.
is a Chad.
Are we calling Rick?
isn't Chad like a?
I feel like Todd is more of a Chad.
Todd's
Rick
more-
is like the dangerous, like dropout
Yeah.
idiot bad boy guy.
That
Todd
I
is
don't
more
think
of
that's
a
was
a
Chad.
Todd, or wait, who was Jabba the Hutt?
it might as well just be the same name.
That
Jabba
was
the Hutt
Rick.
was
Okay.
Rick.
Rick is Jabba the
Okay,
Hutt.
perfect.
Yeah.
Because he's just a piece of... And Rick is also Matthew
He's Matthew
McConaughey
McConaughey.
now.
Okay, so that's a good segue into previously on Sweet Valley High, #1, Double Love. To catch you guys up, Joe knows some of this, Brian knows none, so let's go ahead and just lightning round go through what has happened in the book so far. So,
Yep.
Can I do it? Because I
Yes.
sum things up faster than you do.
please.
Okay, so the first third of the book was literally nothing, but Jessica and Elizabeth have a crush on the same boy. His name is Todd.
Yes.
They have a brother named Steven who keeps visiting their house a lot, even though he's in college, and they thought that was weird, and then found out he's dating a girl in town.
And they also want to
Not that
fuck him.
interesting. And they also have a lot of
They
sexual tension with
really
him.
wanna fuck him.
Both of them do. It's horrible.
So much.
They're like, oh, my handsome brother. Oh.
Oh, thank God he's so handsome. We're so lucky.
By the way, I
they
did
also
pause.
think their
Sorry to
father's
interrupt.
having an affair.
I did pause the podcast when I was listening to it to Google the Folgers incest commercial.
I still haven't watched
Becca
it.
still hasn't watched it.
Holy
I
shit!
have not seen it. Yeah.
Anyway,
It's
continue.
so incesty, right?
It's bad.
It's crazy.
I need to watch it
It's crazy.
tonight.
Yeah.
They think their dad's having an affair.
Yep.
That's just something they keep talking about. I guess it's
Their
a plot
dad's a
point.
lawyer. They think he's having an affair with
So,
another lawyer.
Yeah.
There we
It
So
was just so hot, it's ridiculous that he wouldn't be.
yeah. So
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the second third of the book
Oh,
was
wait. The first third ended with Jessica meeting Rick and getting in his car,
yes.
right?
So
yeah.
Jessica met Rick and got in his car, and
Yeah.
then the second third of the
Is
book,
when he killed her because he's a fucking creep.
Wait, what?
He
I wish.
Almost.
So he takes her to a bar, even though she's fucking 16 years old. He already smells like liquor when she gets in his car. When they get there, he drinks two Boilermakers.
Is
Boiler
he's 21? He's of age.
No, I think he's
No, they-
still in high school, though I'm
he dropped out.
picturing... He dropped out, but he's still around their
He's
age.
high school
isn't
age.
he?
Oh.
Yeah.
He's Tim.
I'm
He's
still
Tim
I think
Riggins.
he's
picturing,
repeated
like,
a couple
30-year-old burnout.
Tim
Yeah.
Riggins.
No, he's Tim Riggins.
Like, he smells like... Who's that?
Friday Night Lights.
Friday
Just
Night
someone
Lights,
you know.
no?
Oh, I don't know.
You guys should watch it.
Hot bad boy.
So
Anyway,
he smells like leather and gasoline,
Leather and
which
gasoline.
is supposed to be sexy, but just sounds like he works at a gas station. So he is like really drunk and sloppy and gross and tries to kiss her and grope her, and then she gets taken home by the police.
I mean, he basically tries to fuck her. Like, He's got his hand on her thigh.
I'm explaining this so we can get past it quickly.
I'm sorry.
So he is groping her and kissing her and stuff, and it's awful.
Cool.
And she's trying to get away. And then some other random guy in the bar gets in a fist fight with him, and the police come. They drop her off at her house. Someone else sees that happen, and the cop thinks that she's Elizabeth. And then he's like, "Bye, Elizabeth."
Oh, they're
and she
twins,
doesn't
babe. Did
correct
you know
him.
that they're
So
twins?
then-
No, I
yeah,
did not.
They're identical
They're
twins.
identical twins.
So
big plot
everyone
point.
at school
Ones.
thinks,
Hot twins.
everyone at school thinks that Elizabeth is the one who was out with this gross douchebag
and got
and was
arrested.
taken home by the
Wait,
cops.
wait,
And is
which
out on
one's the
parole.
nerd?
So-
Wait. But they didn't notice that
Elizabeth
she
is
wasn't
the
talking
nerd.
like Batman? She didn't have a Batman voice?
Wait.
Doesn't one of them have a Batman voice?
Elizabeth has the Batman voice, and I don't remember why.
I don't remember
Yeah,
why
but
yet.
Brian, they're identical.
They're identical.
They didn't hear them.
Elizabeth is,
Men don't
Elizabeth is
listen
like
to
the, the
Not in this book,
nerd,
they don't.
like she
They
writes
really
for the
don't.
newspaper,
So,
or ever in real life when I'm trying to
so
talk.
Jessica, so Jessica's the one
like
who
popular
went out
fashion
with
girl.
the douchebag,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
but everyone thought it was the
She's-
nerd. Okay.
She's like popular cheerleader, cares about that shit. Elizabeth is just like a nerd and a doormat and works for the new, like she's a reporter for their high school newspaper.
Yeah, because those are
But they
those
both
are the
pledged a
two.
sorority, which doesn't make sense.
Those are
'cause
the
they're in
only
high
two
school.
personalities that women can have. You can either be hot or
Yeah,
dumb,
of course.
hot and dumb,
Yeah.
or ugly and
Hot and dumb or
ugly and smart.
and stuck
Like
up.
slightly less hot and smart.
She has glasses and a ponytail. She's not
So-
hot.
I'm sorry.
There's also a plot point where there's a dance that they're going to.
Yeah.
And so the boy that they both like asked Jessica to go to the dance because she was honest with him about her being the one that went to the bar with Rick. Because everyone thought it was Elizabeth for some fucking reason. And they didn't believe her when she said it wasn't her. So, what's his name? Todd? I wanted to say
Yeah, it's
Logan.
Todd.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Todd is going to the dance with Jessica, and Elizabeth is going to the dance with the nerdy nerd guy,
Winston Egbert.
Winston Egbert.
Super creative.
There's also a land dispute
Oh yeah,
because
the land dispute.
one of the
the class
there's,
warfare.
there's a parcel of land owned by one of the oldest families in town that the football field falls on, and I wasn't paying attention at all when this was being described because it was very boring.
It's a land dispute between the two wealthiest, oldest families in town, the Patmans and the Fowlers. And the Fowlers got their money from canned goods industry, so
Wait,
they
the
want to turn the
Pac-Mans?
land into
Patman.
Patman.
It-
Like
it's
it's
probably
Batman, but with a P.
Patman.
Batman.
Because it wouldn't be Pac-Man.
I
But
love
it's
the way
funnier
you're
to say
saying
crazy
Batman.
every time.
Yeah.
I love the way you're saying Patman.
So the Fowlers want to turn the land into a new canning factory, and the Patmans want to turn the land into a 19th century
English
garden.
But currently, the land is the high school football field.
Yeah. And the high school football players led a riot, basically.
They basically led a pep rally.
Yeah.
Where they were just chanting like, "We want football to happen."
They're like, do
And-
we want a garden? No. Do we
Yeah.
want a factory? No.
None of the people involved with the land dispute were there to see it, so it didn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we are.
And their brother Steven, the only other thing I feel like that might be important, their brother Steven, they found out the reason he was coming into town was because he was dating a girl who is of ill repute. What I'm looking for.
Ill repute.
Repute.
Ill repute. Thank you. A drug addict and an alcohol
No,
and a
that-
slut.
No, he's dating the sister.
I know, but that's what they thought.
They thought he was dating the drug addict sister, but really he's dating the normal sister. But still, their family is trash.
The trashy
literally
family.
trash,
Trash
in
family.
Jessica's
Cool,
eyes.
cool.
And Stevens.
So
Because
they broke up.
They broke up.
He didn't break up with her.
No, she broke up with him because he didn't want to go out in public with her
Oh, yeah,
because
that's
her
true.
family
And
is
so that's why he
trash.
came back
So
home.
that's why he was coming back home
He was
because
coming
he was
back to see her, and then they just
Oh.
broke up.
yeah.
Do these books are they the same characters from book to book, or is it like a whole?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the
Twins
twins are the main
So
characters.
they're like
the
the
Sweet
they're like
Valley.
Twins.
they're like the
Twins
spoke
wives.
of which everything revolves around.
They're
basically.
the center
Yeah.
of the wheel
Yeah.
of time.
I just can't believe this much has happened in this book.
What's,
I'm looking at the PDF right now, and there's literally like 50 words per page, and we're halfway through, and all this has happened?
Fucking nothing happened in the first third, and then 1,000 things happened in the second third.
I'm also,
the first third was just like,
I don't know what
I'm
we're
a girl,
in for
I'm a
tonight.
girl, and we like
the same
We
boy.
like the same boy. And then the second book was just like, date rape, land dispute. Like, wait, what?
the first half.
And much like
the first half was just
the
like
Wheel of Time book series, it's very unlikable female characters.
And
Yeah,
the
we are
author
all
died
firmly
halfway
Team
through.
Elizabeth.
what. So
I like Enid.
is what I was
She's
very
good.
confused about the sorority fraternity situation. Is that a thing? Are there high school Greek institutions?
I mean, not that I know
Like,
of.
what?
So the only other frame of reference I had for that was in Gilmore Girls, where there was a secret sorority at the fancy prep school.
Yeah.
Other than that, I
right,
don't know
right,
anything
right.
about
Because
sororities
I kept
being
like
in high school.
it took me a long time to figure out if they were supposed to be in college or high school because I kept hearing about the.
yeah,
They're
It's
definitely in high
they're-
school.
They're
They're
16.
16.
Okay, cool. Okay,
So with that, let's jump right in because we got to finish this book.
totally clear
Chapter
on all of that.
12.
It's gonna take so long.
Chapter 12. You're not serious. You absolutely cannot be going with Winston Egbert. Oh, right. Yeah. So it's, we
already talked about that.
Yeah. That's where we left off. Screeched Jessica as she stood in the middle of Elizabeth's room. I can't believe my own sister dating that clown. It was the evening before the dance, but Jessica had been so preoccupied with her own plans for the big night, she hadn't heard about Elizabeth and Winston until an hour earlier at dinner. I just don't understand why you're so upset about it, Jess, Elizabeth said as she sat on her bed, her history book in her lap because she's a fucking nerd. Wynn's a nice guy. He's really funny. And even if he's not handsome, he doesn't have 3 heads, for heaven's sake. But he's not romantic, Lizzie, Jessica pointed out. That suits me just fine. I can relax and I can have a good time without worrying about groping hands and fighting someone off at the front door.
Girl, that is not
Elizabeth
romance.
sighed. Elizabeth sighed, knowing Todd would never be so crude. A good night kiss from him would be nothing short of heaven. Oh, yeah. Jessica.
Drink every time they say heaven.
Yeah, seriously.
God.
Jessica heard the sigh and saw
Sorry. So in the second third, Rick kept calling Jessica Heaven,
It's like his nickname for
and
her.
then Jessica
Yeah,
kept
it was-
using
there
the
was
word
some
heaven
dumb
after
pickup
that
line.
somehow.
There's some dumb pickup
Yeah,
line in the
he was
first
like, "How
one.
you doing,
yeah,
heaven?"
like, hey, heaven,
Yeah.
Yeah,
how's
but then he
space or whatever.
But then he got really drunk and he
he
was like,
continued to refer to her as heaven.
Oh,
he's like,
ew.
you know what I want,
Ew,
heaven.
ew, 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 ew.
It was
Ew,
awful.
I hate
It was
it. I
awful.
hate it.
Oh, you're gonna hate
But
it. when you
imagine
hear
it in Matthew McConaughey's voice.
It's so much worse.
It's so much worse. Jessica heard the sigh and saw the faraway look on her sister's face.
Oh no.
It's your turn already.
But I'm knitting.
I'll go get a drink.
Classic
I want more
Bekah.
whiskey.
Classic Bekah.
Do you want to flip these?
Yeah.
Lizzie, she began in what she hoped was a casual tone. Are you going with Winston because you really want to, or because nobody else asked you?
Jesus.
Elizabeth hesitated to tell her sister about Bruce Patman's invitation. She doubted that Jessica would see it her way. At the time it had made her furious, but now it seemed kind of funny. The look on his face had been priceless, but nobody turned Bruce Patman down for a date.
It's Batman.
Actually, Jess,
Sorry.
I don't like Batman. I don't know why it really bothers me. They all say it, and I refuse.
Don't
Bruce.
give in, Becca.
Bruce Patman.
Thank you. Actually, Jess, someone else did ask me first. Bruce Patman. Bruce Patman, Jessica squealed. Liz Wakefield, how dare you sit there calmly and tell me Bruce asked you out as if it weren't important. You're incredible. No, you... Wait, hold on. No, you must be dead. No girl alive would turn Bruce down. He's handsome, Liz. He is so rich. And he drives that awesome Porsche. Oh my god, so many convincing arguments. Jessica stood there, hands on hips, glaring down at her sister. Jessica would never say no to Bruce. She thought for a minute of how it would be to arrive at the dance with him. Once in a while it seemed to Jessica that Bruce was on the verge of asking her out, but that it hadn't happened yet. Do you think they're going to switch? Guys,
Would
do
it-
you think
would
they're
it
going
be
to
a
switch and go with each
twin
other?
book without
I
a
guess
switch?
she's not Bruce's date, though. Right? I feel like they have to
You
switch
gotta
every
switch.
book. It's like the law of twins. Identical.
I hope they switch and then Jessica drives off a cliff with Bruce. But then it wouldn't be much of a series.
Zombie Jessica.
It's just Friday the 13th. Like, they just keep coming back to life for no reason.
It was actually Jessica's mom who also looked exactly the same as the twins.
Friday the 13th.
Triplets.
Are you saying you wish you were going to the dance with Bruce instead of Todd? Elizabeth challenged. Of course not. Why in the world would you think that? Todd is terribly good looking, and he's so sweet. I just wish he didn't drive that gross excuse for a car. Bruce's Porsche is so, I mean, it's a Porsche. Jesus Christ.
Haven't you seen a Porsche?
Let's get off the subject of Bruce Batman, please. They are not the same person. Elizabeth got up off the bed and walked over to her table where she picked up some notes. Right now I've got to study for tomorrow's history quiz. Yeah, okay, I'm going. Jessica hesitated at the door. Just one thing, Liz. Elizabeth looked up from the notes. Are you sure it's all right? You know, about Todd and me and the dance? There was genuine concern in Jessica's blue-green eyes. You know, because they're twins. And it just now occurred to her. Which, if you've listened to the previous episodes, it makes sense. Jess, I don't know what you're... Please tell me the truth. Sometimes you get a funny, faraway look when Todd's name is mentioned. I wondered if you sort of liked him. I just didn't care. If it makes you unhappy, I won't go out with him, I swear. I'll stay home tomorrow. By this time, Jessica was on the other side of the table, clutching Elizabeth's hands. She really seemed concerned for once. A flood of love for her sister washed over Elizabeth because she is a gaslighted fool.
She is so gullible.
Together.
She knew how important the dance was for Jessica. She wouldn't spoil it for her. Who's being an airhead now, Jess? We're both going to that dance, and we'll have a sensational time. The Wakefield sisters are going to be so terrific. How terrific are we going to be, Liz? Asked Jessica, happy once again. It's
my
so
God.
fucking sad.
Ugh.
Get out of here, you idiot, said Elizabeth, grabbing a small pillow and aiming it at Jessica like a batarang.
Is it my turn now?
It is your turn.
I'm trying to... This is hard. Like, you're like trying to read ahead and figure out...
I'm having a hard time just doing it
use.
mentally while you guys are doing it.
As
We're
soon
pros.
as Jessica left the room, the smile left Elizabeth's face. Will it really be such a terrific night? She asked herself, tears filling her eyes.
Oh, Jesus.
They
Thanks.
cry a lot.
Oh wait,
They
here
cry
comes
so
the Batman voice, everybody.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks, Jess.
It's perfect.
Punch. Elizabeth called from the bathroom
It just
that had
sounds like he's
joined the twins'
pooping.
room. She was wrapped in a towel. Sexy. You're welcome, but for
Or
what?
cape.
Jessica shouted over the whir of the hairdryer. For leaving me the steamiest... I'm definitely not doing that anymore. For leaving me the steamiest bathroom in the entire state in exactly 30 seconds of hot water. They're just both going to be fashion girls in my mind.
You're
from
gonna
here on out.
You're gonna confuse
I'm
the listeners
sorry.
if you don't
Too
do
bad.
Batman.
Oh, the listeners
Do
are already...
Daria for Elizabeth.
Yeah, that's good. Elizabeth hollered back. Oops, Jessica said, poking her head into the room. I'm sorry. Would you believe I got carried away? It wouldn't be the first time. What do you think? Jessica gave her golden mane a toss. I mean, be totally honest. Is my hair okay? Let me look. She circled Jessica. Every hair was exactly where it should be. Perfect.
No splits.
Yes.
Sad, Jess. It's really sad. What? Screeched Jessica. What are you saying? I just thought, poor Vidal Sassoon on the unemployment line because you're better than he is. Elizabeth fell on the
Jesus
bed laughing.
Topical.
Gotcha, Jess. She shouted triumphantly.
Oh, that's a callback to their game where they insult each other.
It's a
But
Todd.
Jess wasn't a part of that game.
Yeah, that was the
Because
Steve...
she's too vain to even pretend she's not the best person ever.
Yeah.
God forbid. Todd. Hi, Mrs. Wakefield. I'm Todd Wilkins. I'm here to pick
There
up
you go.
Jessica, for the dance.
Wait, Todd's like the surfer guy?
Was he gonna say Liz?
Yeah, he's like, brah.
Oh, okay, so who's the mom?
Oh, Mom, that's Julia Childs.
Silence.
Isn't that the same as Batman?
Every mom in every book we read is Julia
okay,
Childs.
Yeah.
Come in, Todd. It's nice to meet you. Jess will be down in a minute. She ushered him into the large, airy living room. The doorbell rang again. Oh, excuse me, Todd. This seems to be a busy night. Alice Wakefield brought Winston Egbert
All the voices are here.
into the room.
God help us.
You two know each other, I presume. Sure. Hi, Winston. And who's Winston? Is he like an English butler?
Hold your
He's
nose.
just a nerd.
He's a
Just a
nerd.
nerd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Todd. How about the two of us escorting the beautiful Wakefield sisters? Wow. Todd and Winston stood in the living room waiting for Elizabeth and Jessica. Gone were the school uniforms of jeans and T-shirts. Both wore neatly pressed cord shirts and ties and sports coats. Elizabeth was the first to come down the stairs, and both Todd and Winston watched her descend. The white strapless dress was perfect with her tan skin and blonde hair.
Ooh.
She kept the bright smile on her face even when she saw Todd. Why couldn't she and
Oh,
Winston
that's
have
depressing.
been gone before Todd arrived, she asked herself. Winston nervously looked towards the stairs as if he were expecting someone else. Then he nearly threw himself at Elizabeth's feet. Spreading his arms wide and looking upward, he declared, I've died and gone to heaven. Getting up,
Drink.
he made a grand bow. Princess Elizabeth, you are totally, that's what you are, Liz Wakefield, totally.
Ugh.
Elizabeth found herself
God,
laughing
gross.
so hard she was nearly in tears. Win, Egbert, you are totally crazy. And if you make me cry and ruin my eye makeup, I'll kill you. So help me, I'll kill you.
Perfect dialogue.
See, she's Batman.
All right.
She's
Also, can I just
100%
say,
Batman.
Brian? I'm gonna emulate Brian with Winston's voice now because that was perfect.
Alice Wakefield was smiling that particular smile every mother does when her child is happy. You know the one. And if you don't, you're a bad
Your mother
child.
didn't
Or a
love
bad
you.
mother.
Or she's a bad mom.
Oh, great, she's happy again.
Todd Wilkins, however, was not smiling. His expression was a strange mixture of anger and sadness. You know what you want to see from a boy when he's picking up one of your daughters for a dance.
Not a red flag at all.
Jessica, out of sight but not out of earshot in the upstairs hall, was also not smiling. How dare that idiot Win Egbert spoil my entrance? She asked herself, thinking of no one else in the entire world
God,
again.
she sucks so
She was
bad.
acting.
That did need to be said.
I know.
I think we can just assume that with every line of dialogue and her thoughts.
He was acting like an airhead, and she would never speak to him again. Fuck me. My lady, our coach awaits, Winston said as he opened the door with a flourish. Elizabeth laughed. I knew it. You're not taking me to the dance in a pumpkin. You are taking me to the dance in a pumpkin.
Oh wait, this is a pumpkin.
It was always a
confusing.
pumpkin.
It is a pumpkin. I was confused. Winston, still chuckling as he followed her outside. Close, he said. It's orange, and it doesn't go very fast. They both dissolved into giggles.
I
As
didn't
he
know
led
he
her
was from
over.
Baltimore.
as he led her over to the orange VW Bug parked in the driveway. Alice Wakefield was still laughing when the front door closed. Oh, those two are really too much, aren't they, Todd? Yeah, too much, he answered somewhat sourly. Just then, Jessica made her entrance. She looked nothing less than sensational. The blue dress with its delicate straps and full skirt showed off her slim body and gorgeous legs. Just like a hot 16-year-old. Hubba hubba. Hello, Todd, she said softly. her mouth curved in a lovely smile.
Hi, Jess, he answered. You look nice. Really very pretty. Nice, she screamed silently. 3 hours of working on my nails, my hair, my makeup, and I look very pretty. Whatever happened to gorgeous? Thanks, Todd.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe he's not good with words, she thought. But she knew from the other day he was good with kissing, and there would certainly be more kisses that evening. The Droids were playing loudly. The Droids is a band at their school.
Oh, okay. I thought we were in the future.
The Droids.
It was the year 2049, and the Droids were playing.
Sweet Valley High 2015.
Well, no, this is in the 80s, so it would be in the future,
2015.
the year 1999.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the lights were bright as Jessica and Todd arrived at the dance. Oh, Todd, isn't it wonderful? She wrapped her arm around his. Look at the hearts, she cried, pointing out at the red and silver 3D foil hearts with PBA on one side and PE on the other. What the fuck do those things mean?
PVA?
PBA and PE.
PE.
Oh, wait, Phil Epsilon.
Phil Epsilon.
What's PBA?
Wait, what is
What's
it?
what?
Oh, wait.
Phi Beta Alpha?
Oh, it's their
Oh, the
sorority and
sorority.
The Pi Beta
their
Alpha.
fraternity. Yeah.
Yeah. Pi Beta Alpha and Phil Epsilon.
Phil Epsilon.
Of the propane Phil
Oh,
Epsilon.
they have high school sororities and frats?
Yeah, we covered
Apparently.
Oh, sorry.
We
That was
covered
a
this,
lot.
Brian.
There's a
Catch
lot
up.
of info, and I was not listening.
this. It doesn't matter.
It didn't make
Just go
sense,
with
so
it.
yeah.
Also, it's a callback to Chris mispronouncing Phi Epsilon
Bye.
Yes.
Phil
in
Epsilon.
the first
Phil
episode.
It's the Phil Epsilon
It's a
dance.
Phil Epsilon.
What's your
My name's
sorority?
Phil Epsilon, and this is my dance.
It's so romantic. A sweetheart dance. She sighed. Yeah, it's nice, Jess, he answered, his eyes scanning the room. Jessica wasn't sure how many more nices she could take. Something was going wrong with her evening, and it had better stop right now. Todd, look, there's Carol Walker. Let's go talk to her. And there's Lila Fowler. And poor Bruce Patman came stag tonight. Poor Bruce Patman? Oh, I didn't mean poor, she bubbled. It's just that he is one of the many guys who invited Liz to the dance tonight. My sister is so popular, Todd.
What is she doing?
I was just gonna
What's
say
her
that.
game?
I truly
What's her
don't
game?
know.
I was just gonna say, like, what's your game, Jessica?
We know there is one because you're
What
a
do you-
sociopath.
How are you supposed to, like, how are
I
these
am so glad
characters
that-
supposed to maintain some sort of, like, relationship with the reader through many books when clearly they're, like, very hateable?
Well, Christine
one
told
of
us that she redeems herself at some point,
Oh, okay.
but
So this
I
is like her,
imagine that's like
this is her
16
emotional
books away.
struggle? Okay.
It's also just like they're supposed to be aspirational, which is heartbreaking, but young girls are supposed to like
betchas.
want to be her.
I mean, it was
and
1983,
it's
so
complicated.
the standards were a lot different then.
this is
Well, yeah,
reality.
when you're not blonde and have blue eyes and there's nothing you can do about that,
Yeah.
the most you can hope for is being vapid and thin.
I just love that.
Conniving.
What a nightmare.
I just love that me and Jonathan both thought, "What's your game?"
Yeah, seriously.
All right. So I've heard, Jess. So I've heard. His voice tightened. We're here to dance, right? Let's
And his
dance.
Dance.
The droids were playing a hard driving number as
Yeah,
Todd
they
pulled
were.
Jessica onto the dance floor and danced weirdly, like they did in the 80s. They were both great dancers,
Like
and they
Crispin
looked
Glover.
so terrific together. Yes. That the other couples moved out of their way, like in
shit.
movies.
dance battle.
Shit.
Jessica danced
a
around
dance-off.
Todd, her dress flaring out as she twirled, Her beautiful tanned legs caught every boy's
God,
eyes.
every
It's
time.
California.
Always
Everyone's
tan.
Everyone's
We get it.
I'd be tan in California.
You wouldn't need
Then
me
she
then.
and Todd really started getting into the music, as if they weren't before, in a very sexy way.
Ew.
As the number came to an end, the crowd erupted with applause, because they were that good, I guess, whistles and cries for more. Jessica threw her arms around Todd and hugged him. She never noticed Todd was staring across the room at a set of identical blue-green eyes.
Whose?
Who could that be?
Doppelganger.
Hey, Liz, remember me, your wonderful date-type person?
Oh my God.
Winston said.
Ooh,
Winston.
Winston.
Get a hold of yourself, you fucking
Oh,
idiot.
Win. Yeah, good old forgettable Win.
Oh my God.
You know me. I've always been here. I love you.
And I'll never leave.
Love you so much.
I'll kill you.
If I can't have you, no one can.
You'll be mine forever. How about a dance, Liz? Nobody's going to desert the floor when I do my thing, but I promise not to break all your toes, because I'm funny.
The
What
only
I got
thing
going for me.
that's missing
Kind of a
from his
thing.
dialogue is "milady."
Ugh.
I wear suspenders every day,
Tips his fedora.
and a pocket
Yeah.
protector.
Do you like my dance fedora? It's my formal one.
You never know when you might need a calculator, because we don't live in the time of smartphones. Let's go in, Elizabeth said, knowing she couldn't spend the whole evening watching Jessica and Todd. We seem to be here with the wrong people, Liz, he said as they moved somewhat awkwardly, shocker, around the floor. Contrary to Winston's promise, Elizabeth had to be very careful about her toes. That's fucking funny. No, that's genuinely funny. I just want to appreciate the one bit of good writing.
Yeah.
So
In this
clever.
whole fucking thing. Elizabeth had to be very careful about her toes.
The joke landed.
Huh? Well, he explained, you're watching Todd, and he's practically got his eyes glued on you.
Oh shit, which one is this?
Daria.
Is Batman.
Batman.
Really,
It's
Win?
Batman.
You really think he's watching me? That's the best I can do. I'm sorry.
I think it's great.
Becca and Joanna have the exact same like crappy
Deep
guy
voice.
voice. Yeah.
It's just supposed to be low.
No, because I know it's the
That's
it's
what
the
you
voice.
all sound like.
Yeah,
It is what you all
Yep.
Oh
I heard-
no!
it's the voice you've used to
It
mock
comes
us
out
since you
finally.
were first
Yeah.
met. Every ex-boyfriend.
That's what you fucking sound.
Oh shit!
I'm a
Oh,
dumb
Stupid
boy,
idiot.
dumb boy.
Really, Liz? The only thing wrong is that your gorgeous sister is watching him too. I wish she were watching me.
Win. You're
great
still loyal to Jessica, huh?
You better believe it.
He said in a serious, in a
you sound like
serious
Woody the
tone.
Woodpecker.
You'd better believe it. He said in a serious tone. That was my serious tone.
Yeah, it's very
Elizabeth
serious.
had never heard him use before. Then suddenly, he made a hideous face that cracked her up. He was back to being the clown again. You want to know the sort of girl people fix me up with? He asked. It goes like this. When have I got a girl for you? What a personality. That always means 200
Oh,
and...
shit.
No. Put those words back in your mouth.
No.
Winston was the nice guy all along.
He's
He
such a
was
nice
on-
guy.
Oh my God. He's a
Incel.
incel.
Yeah, I was just
thank
gonna
you.
say.
Uh,
I coined a word. It's called involuntarily celibate. Let me tell you about my mantra.
blah blah blah. 2'5", whatever. Stupid. I'm an idiot. Have to put her
Yeah.
hamburger on the
yep.
floor.
That's fine. We don't need
You're
to-
gonna need to read
so
that
she
part.
can reach
Oh
it.
no, that's
There you go.
awful. That's awful.
I am not interested.
If only I could also do a Jabba
Wait,
the Hutt impression.
What is that? Wait, what does that even mean? That line?
I don't understand.
I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to put-
That
hold on.
doesn't make
He's
sense.
Hold on.
making fun of her for being short and fat.
Yeah, but if it's on the floor, bending over is way harder than if
Yeah,
it's just
that-
in front of her on the table.
I don't. Yeah, that's.
I eat hamburgers off the highest shelf in the room. I don't
The
know
line-
You're
about
a
you
classy
all.
bitch.
The line
It's
is
either
I
that
have
or
to
the
put.
floor. There's no in between.
I had to put
Yeah.
her hamburger on the floor so she can reach it.
That doesn't make it. It doesn't.
Because she's short? That's
Yeah. Short people can
Because
only
guys hate short
eat
girls.
off of the floor. Don't you
Also,
know that?
they're at an age where a lot of the girls are taller than the dudes.
Yeah, that's very
Like
true.
they're right in their middle teens.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
the,
how
the
tall
girls
is
are
this
always
idiot?
like, whooshoo, like
Yeah.
beanstalks.
Based on Winston's
Anyway.
current voice, I don't really think he's a giant.
He hasn't. Yeah.
How tall is this idiot? It's a great
Oh
question.
man, they must be setting them up with some real uggos.
Oh,
He's
boy.
4'8".
Yes. But when? Elizabeth said, laughing. Oh, but when? Elizabeth
No,
said,
no, no,
laughing.
you had it right.
Looks aren't everything. Well, yeah. That saves that then. Yeah, I know. I'm no prize package either, right? He grinned affably. No, you're not. Hey, Enid and Ronnie are waving at us. Let's go over and say hello, okay? As they made their way around the dancers, Elizabeth commented, I don't think Ronnie has left her side all evening. He's certainly protective. Yeah, I think he was a Doberman in a former life. Winston cracked.
Oh
A
wait.
set
so-
of brown.
He's supposed to be the funny one.
Well,
He's
the
the
last time
comic
there was
relief.
there's this really weird, intense conversation on the beach with Enid and Ronnie
And
Todd.
Yeah.
And Enid had some secret or something.
Oh, yeah.
And Ronnie was like, "We can never forgive Elizabeth for what she did."
Yeah.
For thinking that she went to the bar with that guy when
Yeah.
she didn't. And Enid was like, "I guess I won't tell him a secret."
Yeah.
And then they just left it at that.
Huh.
Just to let you know.
Just so you know,
What's
there's
going
a
on?
secret hanging over Enid's head.
Okay. Secrets. A set of brown eyes followed Elizabeth's every move, a fact that did not go unnoticed by Jessica, who was rapidly reaching the boiling point. Shocker.
Oh, shit.
Her evening was going right down the tubes, and it was all Todd's fault. She had done everything, and with Jessica, that was plenty to turn the page.
She did hand jobs. She did blow jobs.
to keep his eyes on her.
She pulled her titties out. Everything.
Tan titties.
Tan
Tan
titties.
titties.
She pulled her tan titties
No,
out.
no, no. The titties were not tan.
You don't know.
I know.
Their parents are never home.
It was the 80s. They were definitely not tan. They had bright white tits
Her
and tan
parents
Yeah.
were
bodies.
never home. She
Yep.
could be outside all she wanted.
She was not.
All right.
All right. Except for that one sensational dance, he had hardly looked at her. No guy, not even Todd Wilkins, could take Jessica Wakefield to a dance and treat her like a piece of furniture. He wasn't going to get away with it, she vowed. Later that night, Elizabeth sat on her bed and sighed with relief that the long
Wait, the
evening
dance
was
is over?
finally over.
Nothing else happened at the dance?
I was just gonna be like, wait,
That's
what?
fucking it.
I'm invested now.
I know.
Damn it.
Lots of dry humping. Went over the rating of
Some
the book,
grinding.
Chris. If you want that, watch
Some light
90210. A bunch of kids
The
had gone out
remake
for
or the
pizza
original?
after the dance, but she had persuaded Winston to bring her home. She knew she couldn't bear seeing Todd and Jessica together 1 minute longer. What were they doing now? She wondered. Were they kissing?
Yep.
Were they
Hand jobbing.
sleeping?
Were they ellipses?
Stop torturing yourself. Stop torturing yourself. At that very moment, Todd was saying goodnight to Jessica at the front door. Nervously, he shifted his weight from one foot to the other. And Jessica? He finally mumbled. Thanks. Thanks a lot. It's been a, really great evening. Not yet it hasn't, Jessica thought. But it could still end up great.
Ooh,
Oh God.
She placed her hands lightly on his shoulders and swayed close to him.
get it.
Todd. She breathed, closing her eyes and raising her face for a kiss. But the kiss, when it came, was nothing like what she'd expected. Jessica's heart went into a tailspin. A kiss on the cheek,
Oh,
like he was her brother, for cripe's sake.
yeah.
You know her
She'd
brother
never
kisses
been
her on the
so
Say
lips.
that
Yeah, you know her brother's just
humiliated
like, come here, just go. Well,
in her entire life. Yeah, really great, Jess. See you at school.
and he was
And he
gone.
was gone.
And he was gone. That's my line.
God. Sorry, I just needed to read it because
I know.
I needed the finality.
You need the closure.
I needed the
You're so
closure.
invested.
Closure.
Like, I can't just jump out of Todd's body like that, Jonathan.
I love you, Brian.
Oh my god.
You're gonna be Todd all night tonight, aren't you?
I'm not really good at a Todd voice,
He's
unfortunately.
gonna be Todd all night. You guys get in bed. He's gonna kiss you on the cheek and
On
then
the
roll over.
cheek.
To the couch with you.
You creep, Jessica said aloud as she stood there by herself. Todd Wilkins, I swear I'll get even with you if it's the last thing I ever do. Get even?
That's horrible.
What?
For
That's so horrible.
what?
For what?
This is such a backwards like social thing,
God,
right? Like
yeah.
a
The
guy
author
like
wants you to hate her.
This is upsetting.
She didn't
Well,
want to
she's
get
like-
even with Rick, who was groping her
Yeah.
and drunk driving her.
Yeah. But
these
Todd-
books
Yeah,
are
but he's
literally
a
like
man.
like
Todd just kind
at
of
fault.
ignored her.
Todd kind of ignored her and was polite and kissed her on the cheek, and she's just like, I'll destroy you.
You didn't even roofie me, you asshole.
You
Yeah,
didn't even
this
put
is
your
like-
hand on my thigh. I thought we were
Training
I even brought my own roofies.
Get
training tweens to accept date rape and nothing less.
Yeah.
I've had a
What kind of
Boilermaker.
dance?
You don't know. Elizabeth reached out to turn off her light, but stopped when she heard the front door close. Jessica was home. I suppose I'll have to listen to every dreamy detail. Jessica stuck her head into the room. Can we talk for a minute, Les? Sure, Jess. Tell me all about it. I'll bet you had one fabulous time tonight. Fabulous? Well, of course. An evening with Todd. Good looking, good dancer, super nice guy. What more could you want? Jessica suddenly knew how she was going to get even with Todd. That nice guy image was about to be destroyed. Oh,
no.
Liz, it was so awful.
Christine warned us about this.
Christine warned us. I know. Jessica's eyes filled with tears. Awful? What are you talking about, Jess? I thought he liked me, Lizzie, she said between sobs. I thought he respected me and everything. Jessie, what happened? Oh, Liz, I can't tell you. Jessica collapsed, covering her face with her hands. I'm too ashamed. I hate her. Elizabeth put her arm around Jessica's shoulder. It's all right, Jess. You can tell me anything. You know that.
God,
Oh,
all I want is like
I
an
have to
actual
fucking
scene
read
of
this.
Batman and some valley girl like having a serious conversation.
I don't want to read this because
I
I know what's
know.
happening
No,
and
it's
I'm
gonna-
fucking
it's-
angry.
I
I'm not
forget
even
what's
gonna read her
happening. I
stupid
remember-
voice.
I remember there was a light spoiler in the first one, but I already forgot it. So
There is a heavier
No idea
spoiler
what's
in the
coming.
second one.
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
Christine read ahead and told us some shit.
Maybe
Oh.
I should tell you, Jessica sniffled. You really should be warned about him. You might go out with him sometime, and I'd just never forgive myself if I didn't tell you what the real Todd Wilkins is like. What did he do? The rat tried just about everything. The horrible thing was that I could hardly make him stop. I had to beg him to please stop. Oh no, Elizabeth moaned, squeezing Jessica's shoulder in sympathy. I can't believe it. I know, I couldn't believe it either. I even remember saying to him as I was fighting him off that I couldn't believe it. And what did he do then? Elizabeth asked, flushed with anger. I don't remember, but oh, Liz, it was awful. He just wouldn't stop. His hands, oh God, they were everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
And don't tell
Holy
me anymore.
shit.
I've heard
This is
enough.
so fucking awful. Oh my god.
Holy-
I
If
thought
the-
these were supposed to be fun, silly books that we read
This
when
is
we
the
were young.
first
So
What
did
the
I,
fuck?
Joe.
This is the first book in the
the
series.
first book. You're supposed to stick with this bitch for like 180 books.
You would think they would ramp up to these types of issues or something.
Oh my god.
Like hint
Or-
at it
This is
for
like-
a little bit.
Wait, who's the author of this book? Was it a man or a
A
woman?
horrible person.
What's her
Who's the
fucking
author of
name?
this book?
Francine
Fran-
Pascal.
Francine Pascal, but she had like a team of
Oh,
ghostwriters.
it was a
so who
woman?
knows?
Really?
Yeah.
A French woman.
But it was-
God,
it was
because
a
it's
bunch
like
of-
Yeah, but
so...
she wrote the first one.
It was ghostwriters.
It was a woman with a vendetta.
She at least wrote the first one. This is all on her.
It was
Yeah.
a woman
Damn
who
it.
clearly had a bad relationship with her sister.
This is a woman who picked her hamburgers up off the floor.
I said this already, but I love you, Brian.
I love you too, buddy.
Aw.
It's been too
I
long.
know.
Jessica
Anyway,
wiped away the
back
tears
to
with the
this.
back of her hand. Lizzie, you're not mad at me for telling you, are you? She asked. I just didn't want you to ever be in that kind of situation. I wanted to protect you, Lizzie. Of course I'm not mad, Jess. Not at you, anyway, Elizabeth exploded.
No.
How dare Todd Wilkins treat you that way? How dare he? I'll kill him. Absolutely kill him, she raged.
I've got the beans. I'm Batman.
No need, Liz, Jessica said to herself. I just took care of that myself.
Jesus.
She is psychotic.
This has gone, like, beyond, like, how bad I thought she was. That was the first chapter of this episode.
We have to finish this book tonight.
Oh, God.
All right. I don't remember the dad's voice. Do we have a
Marco.
note for the dad's voice?
It was
Marco.
Marco.
Oh, okay. All right. That's great. Chapter 13. The knock on the door was soft, but persistent.
It doesn't say chapter.
Okay. 13. The knock on the door was soft, but persistent. Steve? I don't know who's calling. Oh, no, I see it now.
The dad.
I thought
Well,
you didn't know.
no.
Right?
It doesn't matter
Okay.
that
All
much.
right.
Know how to pronounce
Steve? No answer. Ned Wakefield knocked again. I have to talk to you. Mr. Wakefield turned the knob slowly. The room was in total darkness, although it was almost 9 a.m. He pulled up the shades and walked toward the bed where his son was hidden under the blankets. Hurry. Stephen didn't stir. Ned Wakefield sat on the bed and poked the lump under the blankets. I'm not going away, so you might as well come out. The blanket fell away from his face, and Stephen blinked at his father. There was a 2-day beard on his face, and his eyes were bloodshot and swollen.
My God.
Sorry,
What
a
was
2-day
Steve's
beard
voice?
on his, 19-year-old face?
A 2-day
So nothing.
peach fuzz beard on his 19-year-old face.
What's Steve's
Two
voice?
hairs.
The super California.
California surfer.
All right.
Bruh.
You look terrible, said Mr. Wakefield. Stephen sat up on the side of the bed and held his face in his hands. Why not? I feel terrible.
Oh, you
Listen,
just sound like an old
Steve.
Jewish guy.
This kind of sounds like Nicolas Cage.
I used to think my troubles would go away if I hid out long enough, but they won't.
Can you turn the page, please? Thank you. The suspense is good.
Bet you want to run it? Just kidding.
You're such a Todd.
So handsy.
I
hear.
stayed in his body. I stayed in
You
Todd.
yeah. You're- Speaking of method. Thanks, Dr. Wakefield. You're welcome. Now get up, shave, take a shower, and come on down. So,
It's exactly what I did.
I don't hear any difference.
That's perfect.
I thought you had an important case to work on. I have. Wakefield versus Wakefield. Up.
Some dead lawyer joke for you.
Wah wah.
That's,
Oh,
I
boy,
kind of like it.
You do not.
Back downstairs, Alice Wakefield looked at her husband with concern. Is he up?
There you go.
Nice.
He's coming down. Thank goodness. Oh boy. They had known that Stephen was depressed the last 2 weekends. Stop laughing, you're making me laugh. They had known that Stephen was depressed the last 2 weekends he had been home. This weekend was worse. Stephen had been stop it. Stephen had been hiding in his bedroom for 2 days with no explanation. When he had not gone back to school Sunday night, Alice and Ned Wakefield had cornered the twins and demanded to know what was happening. It was like pulling teeth. Neither Elizabeth nor Jessica wanted to squeal on their older brother because they also had a sexual relationship with him. Eventually, the story about Trisha Martin had come out. Am I supposed to know what the fuck that is?
That doesn't matter.
The characters never showed up.
She's the girl that he was dating that they broke up, and her sister,
Secret girlfriend.
Her sister is a drug addict, and their dad is a drunk, I guess,
Yeah.
and their family is considered like trash.
They're-
So he didn't want to tell people they were dating, but he really loved her, and she was like, "Fuck you for that," and broke up with him.
Her dad, quote, got bombed out of his mind every night.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I'm assuming
I think
he's an
he's just a
alcoholic.
drunk, yeah.
Yeah.
And her sister's on drugs, but she's fine.
And a slut.
And a slut, according to Jessica,
According to the Wakefield twins.
greatest set of
reliable source.
yeah.
Stephen looked much better when he came downstairs. He sat down at the table and his mother put orange juice in front of him, but he pushed it aside dramatically. Not hungry, Mom. This must be serious, his mother said lightly. She was rewarded with a glare that might have bored holes through a brick wall. Sorry. Steve, let me tell you something. I can't do this. Steve, let me tell you something, his father said. Anything you're going through, I went through. Sure. Yeah, sure. And so did your mother.
Now he's a New York asshole. Wait. Joanna's Alice Wakefield is always about like falling out of the plane as she's talking. She's like, sorry. And she's gone. Okay. Is this Steven we're starting with?
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
Steven's California guy?
Yeah.
I don't know who's saying what here.
Mom.
I know.
I've been
it's-
going with Steve. I've been going with Ted Theodore Logan.
Wait, what?
No, but like the
Ted from Bill and Ted.
The order here, I think it's like Steve talking to his mom. It's like Steve, Mom, Steve.
Steven, Mom,
Yeah.
Steven. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mom? That got his attention. I don't understand that.
I think it doesn't matter.
Got whose
Just
attention?
Go with it. It doesn't matter.
What do you mean? You two... What? Nothing. We never had a problem in our lives. Is that what you think? Said Mrs. Wakefield. Stephen picked up the glass of orange juice and sipped it. He felt uncomfortable talking about his mom and dad, especially now when there might be something going on with Mariana West. Who is that?
Oh, is
The
that
incredible
the mayor,
hot-
the
The
chick-
divorcee
that
that
fucking
works
Divorcee, yeah.
at the lawyer's office.
And this was like Kermit the Frog, right, Chris?
No, more
Martin
like
Martin.
But never mind us, said his father. What's all this about Trisha Martin? I don't know what that was.
No, it's good.
That's
I liked
good.
it.
Steven sighed. The twins told you? Oh, well, it doesn't matter anyway. Why'd you have to keep it a big secret? Alice Wakefield asked. Trisha's a lovely girl. Yeah, I know, but her family... Ned and Alice Wakefield exchanged glances. Trisha Martin's family was no bargain, and they knew it. Her father was the town
No
drunk,
bargain.
and her sister Betsy had a horrible reputation. The mother had died of leukemia when the kids were
What a
little.
bitch.
What an idiot.
Wow.
The mother was the worst one, having died of leukemia.
Oh,
Trash. Which had really torn the family apart. It was all understandable, but that didn't make it any easier. And now Stephen was mixed up with them. The question was, how seriously? Listen, Stephen was saying, this is really no big deal. Just forget it. He started to rise again, but his father's hand on his arm sat him back down.
Steve, anything that's kept you hiding out for 2 days is important enough for me. How serious are you about Tricia?
Hold on, real quick. I just want to say
I just
the
spit
fact that
Bonneville
he
on the
thought I was
fucking
doing
microphone.
Kermit the Frog means he doesn't know how well I do Kermit the Frog's voice,
That's true.
I didn't really
and
think
I'm very
I
upset about that.
didn't really think it was Kermit. It was just in the
I don't
realm
know
of
if it
Kermit
comes
with
up
like the
that often.
We'll do it off air, Chris. I know you're proud.
No, he wants to do it now.
No, I'm not doing it now. I just wanted to point out that I'm upset.
I don't
Well-
know what you're talking about, Chris. You're not
Well,
gonna beat
Dad-
that, so don't even try.
Dad,
Oh,
I think I'm in love with her. She's really terrific. And how does she feel about you? Alice Wakefield asked. Stephen got up and paced around the kitchen. She hates me. She'll never speak to me again. And it's all my fault. I don't deserve such a great girl. The anguished tale then poured out of Stephen Wakefield. He heaped abuse upon himself as he told them how he had pretended that her family's problems didn't matter. He loved her, quote, anyway. Oh, damn.
That's very big of him.
He had told her, and he was above that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
She saw right through me, Stephen said bitterly. She saw the truth. A truth
Forrest Gump.
I didn't even realize. That I was ashamed of her family. That I didn't consider her good enough for me, but that I would accept her out of the goodness of my heart. What an idiot I was. Now it's all over. She never wants to see me again, and I don't blame her. I'm just miserable. Have you told Tricia what you just told us? Said his mother. Stephen stopped pacing. Slowly he sat down at the table. He poured some coffee, and he sipped it. He shook his head.
Like a college student.
I couldn't do that, Mom. Why? It would be too... I'd sound like a jerk.
I don't understand this book at all. Honestly, I feel like we're just reading words and they're not even the same book.
That's
Children's book.
yeah.
Makes sense.
That's how I feel.
It's a collage.
Now you're with all of us, Brian.
I don't care about Steven's problems at all. But we're gonna get a full fucking page of it. Is it the truth, Steven? That I'm a jerk? Yes, it's true. No, that you didn't realize what you were doing. Yes, Steven said slowly. That's true. Do you still love Tricia? Oh, yes. Not a moment's hesitation. Then go and tell her exactly what you told us. It's the only thing you can do, Ned Wakefield urged. Stephen looked at the table for a moment, and when he spoke, he couldn't face his parents. He asked quietly, "What do you think of my involvement with the Martins?" You're not involved with the Martins, Stephen. You're involved with Tricia. You don't mind? Ned and Alice Wakefield glanced at each other. Stephen, you can't judge a person by his or her family, said Mrs. Wakefield. I won't pretend that the Martins don't make me uneasy. But if you love Tricia, then you've got to fight for her. She's Tricia Martin, not Betsy. Not her father.
Not that drug-addled whore.
Stephen was up on his feet again, pacing. You're sure you approve of Tricia?
Oh my God.
Mom? Dad?
Steven.
Stephen, it's whether you approve of her, Ned Wakefield said. Follow your own judgment, as well as your heart. Stephen searched his father's face anxiously, and then his mother's, looking for a clue to the pain and suffering they might be undergoing.
What?
I don't,
You know,
he's fucking projecting.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know. I don't care about
young
any of it.
boys. Young boys who only care about their parents' approval and everything. That
Well,
they
like
do.
young boys who
Exactly.
only care about their family's reputation. Like, this is very relatable.
So relatable. Hashtag relatable.
Yeah.
Was this long-lasting, seemingly warm and solid marriage on the verge of destruction?
Oh my God.
Stephen wished he could tell, but it was impossible. Whatever their problems, they were united to help him. Stephen felt love racing through him, and he suddenly grabbed his mother in a bear hug. Hey! I love you, Mom! I love you too, Stephen. She wouldn't call him Steve. She would call him his full name.
Yeah, it's true. Good call.
On the page it said Steve. I just want to clarify for the listener.
Bad writing.
My mom calls
You
me
too,
Nanny.
Dodd?
Dog.
He said, grabbing his father's hand, because that was the only way they ever touched. Firm
homo.
handshakes.
No homo,
that's it.
yeah.
And then Stephen vaulted through the kitchen door, dashed out the front door, and was gone on his way to Trisha Martin's house in his pajamas. Stephen drove up. Oh, we're
We're
continuing
still
with it.
doing
This
this.
is great.
I don't care.
I'm all about this.
Oh, I don't care.
Stephen drove up to the Martins' saggy-roofed ranch house. Doesn't even have a fucking second floor. A neglected old place that badly needed a paint job and general cleanup.
Some goats
As he
rolled
approached-
around outside.
As he approached the door, he could hear Trisha coaxing her father into his room. Come on, Pop. Lie down and get some sleep. You'll feel a lot better.
Oh, this
God.
is gonna
This
be
is so
depressing.
fucking sad,
This is fucked up.
I don't like
This is fucked up, and I hate
Trisha
it.
said. Stephen opened the door uninvited and entered quietly.
Cool.
dangerous.
Just a
sounding
little light
situation.
beanie.
Yeah.
Trisha was returning to the living room. Steve, she gasped. What are you doing here? I thought I made it clear. We have nothing more to say to one another. There's one more thing I have to say, Trisha, Stephen said softly.
Bill Clinton now.
Great. No, I can do Bill Clinton. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I acted like such a jerk. You were right. I was being patronizing. But I was too stupid to realize it. Can you forgive me, Trish? For being a complete fool? I love you. I love you so much.
We're freshmen in college. I love you.
I totally know what that means.
Yeah.
Does Trish have a
She
stupid
hasn't,
voice?
she hasn't spoken
Just
yet.
lady voice. I didn't pick one.
Pick your poison, Joe.
Ugh. How about normal?
Sounds good to me.
Steve. Brian, if I could do a proper Baltimore accent.
How about
Oh,
normal?
Steve.
I mean, that's the first. That is the easiest opener for a Baltimore
Steve.
accent you'll ever get.
Yeah.
Oh,
Steve.
Steve.
Ew,
said-
Steve.
I love you too.
I love you too. She was so beautiful and fragile at that moment, Stephen thought, her brown eyes shining, her hair floating about her oval face in a red gold cloud.
An Old Bay cloud.
Yes.
With a
It
burns.
crab
It fucking
scuttling back and
burns.
forth.
He didn't even
amongst
mind
the
the
way.
bare mattresses strewn about the corners of the room.
With tears streaming down their faces, Stephen and Tricia shared a long, tender kiss. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm so sorry, Stephen said softly, planting a gentle kiss on her eyes.
Ew.
On her eyeballs.
Hold your eyelid open. I'm gonna do something cool. Her nose and her forehead. Tricia! Come here! A voice called from the other room.
Oh, God.
My father needs me, Steve. I gotta go to him.
You got it. I've never been more proud.
Can we talk later? There's so much I want to tell you about a long conversation over clams and a shake.
She is from Baltimore.
Ew.
Over crabs.
Yeah. Some steam mussels.
What the fuck?
Over clams and a shake, like a normal meal that a normal
Ew.
person would eat at
Let's
the
eat clams
Dairy
in a
Burger
shake and then
tonight.
throw up all
Yeah,
over
that
each
is
other.
nauseating.
Fuck that.
Oh, love a good clam dairy mixture.
Clam in the shake.
Stephen-
That's my kind of date.
Stephen asked, holding her face in his hands. Tricia beamed a radiant smile. Okay, see you around 8. She rushed into her father's room as a very she rushed into her father's room as a very that is what it says. She rushed into her father's
that
room
makes zero fucking
as
sense.
a very happy and relieved
Okay.
no, sorry, it was just super fucking convoluted writing. Okay. She rushed into her father's room as a very
they missed
happy
the
and
comma
relieved
there.
Stephen Wakefield let himself out the front door.
I would have put a comma.
Well,
Yeah. She led herself into her father's room, comma, as a very happy and relieved
as a
Stephen
very
Wakefield
happy
let
and
him out the
relieved
front
Stephen
door.
Wakefield let himself out the front door.
If there was a comma, you would have read it correctly.
I think
You could have
technically
put
it's
while instead of as.
yeah. I think technically it's correct. It's just badly written.
Yeah.
Yes.
Womp womp.
The evening had been beautiful, Stephen mused as he drove home after dropping Tricia off. His thoughts swirled pleasantly around her lovely image,
He was
there
full of
a
clams
joke?
and a milkshake.
full of clams and milkshake, creating images in
That's
his
fucking horrible.
That is the
as
worst
the food
combo.
poisoning set in.
That's awful.
And then, as though to cap off the evening perfectly, he spotted his father's rust brown LTD. What is?
Sure. Car?
Limited.
Just
Father's
ahead
Rust
of him.
Unlimited.
Don't know what that is.
It's a car.
Yes. Yes, it's totally a car. It would be fun to follow his dad home and thank him for helping him with what had seemed a hopeless mess.
Oh no, I know what's gonna happen.
Stephen turned on some soft music and cruised quietly along.
Oh, it's what the Men in Black car was, an LTD.
Do you want to finish out that sentence?
The soft music I'm just
Dreaming happy
picturing as...
Dreaming happy dreams.
No, I'm picturing that saxophone song.
Oh, Careless Whisper?
Yes.
See, I'm picturing Daybreak. The
Alright,
and keep going.
Oh, keep going.
I'm done.
He wasn't ready for the turn his father suddenly made into a side street. Dum dum. Without really thinking, Stephen
Law and Order?
turned also.
Followed
Followed the car. Brum, 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 brum. Only then did he notice that there was someone else in the car with his father.
With their head.
Mariana West?
That bitch!
Stephen didn't know what to do.
Just kidding, it's not her fault.
He certainly hadn't planned to spy on his father. But there he was, following his father and Mariana, and wondering what in heaven's name was going on.
Kevin, drink.
Drink.
Jake.
It was too late, he realized, for them to be coming home from work. The LTD began to slow down. Stephen slowed down too. He couldn't pass them now. He slid his car into the shadows of a hedge along the drive and parked there. The Limited pulled into a driveway and stopped. Mariana West got out. So did Stephen's father. They were laughing together about something as they walked toward Mariana's white-shuttered house. Oh no, Stephen moaned. He didn't want to believe it, but the evidence was too glaring to ignore. He sat in the car for a long time, waiting for his father to come out. He listened to at least a dozen songs on the radio without hearing any of the music before he finally gave up and drove home. Everyone was asleep when he got there. Stephen paused outside his parents' bedroom door on his way upstairs. The lights were off, so he knew his mother wasn't sitting up and worrying. Poor Mom, he thought. If only she knew.
Maybe they have an open situation.
Yeah.
And the kids should just mind their business.
Do you want to read this whole page,
No,
or you
you-
want me to
you
just
just-
finish that out?
You do this, and then I'll start the next one.
Stephen crawled into bed, but he didn't want to go to sleep. He wanted to be awake when his father arrived home.
Oh, shit.
If he came home at all.
I would have pulled up next to him and then just glared.
14!
Chapter 14.
14!
Holy shit. Fuck, move back already. Jesus Christ.
That's what
I
I've been
love this
saying.
man. I love this fucking man.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's alright.
He's all right. Elizabeth couldn't remember a time. Oh, we're back to these bitches. Elizabeth couldn't remember a time when life had been such a mess. Everything was in shambles. Her father was chasing around after some tail, another woman, and her mother was blind to it. The money-grubbing Fowlers were grabbing the Sweet Valley High Gladiators football field away from them just when they had a really terrific team. And who was trying to stop the Fowlers? The Patmans, who were just as bad. A formal English garden.
Who cares about any of this?
The whole disgusting mess was now in the courts, which only through her father and that woman lawyer, Mariana West, together even more.
The courts, I love it.
And to top it off, Todd Wilkins, as if none of that was bad enough, what was worse, Todd Wilkins had turned out to be practically as bad as Rick Andover. Elizabeth couldn't stop thinking about it, and every time she did, her stomach turned. How could Todd do such a thing? At the same time, she could never quite picture him doing it. It seemed out of character, almost like it was made up by somebody. She believed Jessica, after all. Why would she lie about such a thing? That's a pretty tricky situation that we find ourselves in as a society. But the image simply refused to come. Elizabeth had never been so miserable, but she supposed it didn't matter anymore.
Jessica was through with Todd, and so was she. Furthermore, Todd was waltzing around Sweet Valley High as though nothing had happened. It was obvious he didn't care.
Oh.
And yet Elizabeth was astounded to notice that Todd was watching her. Every class they had together, she could feel his eyes on her. When they passed in the corridors, when they bumped into each other in the cafeteria, Todd tried to engage her in conversation as though they were still friends. "Hey, Liz," he said after history one morning. "How about getting something to eat after school?" "I'm busy."
Like clams
she
in a
snapped.
shake.
That's so fucking
Like a
gross.
clam milkshake.
Chris, were you in the bathroom when that happened?
Yes,
Steve
probably.
said to Trisha, "How about we get clams and a shake?" Clams and a milkshake.
What?
No.
I hope that's slang for something other than clams.
Oh shit! I know what it is now. Think about it.
Clams in a milkshake.
Think about
I
clam.
don't want to think about it. I don't want to think
clam.
I
about
don't
it.
want to think about it, Brian.
I'm
I want you to explain it.
I'm busy, she
It's
snapped,
only-
ignoring the hurt look on Todd's face. In Mr. Russo's class, he slipped her a note. "Meet me in front of the columns after school."
That's what I call my dick.
Elizabeth didn't
Oh,
bother
their
to keep
school
that
had
appointment.
columns.
But he wouldn't stop pestering her. Every day, Todd tried to corner her on the stairs or stop her in the hall. She brushed him off, but it only made her feel worse. Even when Mr. Collins came over to her desk in the Oracle office and praised her for the story she had done on the football field crisis, she didn't feel much better. That was a
A lot of
really
important stuff
professional
going on in
job,
this town.
Very important.
Pisces.
Mr. Collins said. "Thanks. Want to talk about it?" he asked, leaning on the edge of the desk.
Hey.
He had a concerned expression on his face. Elizabeth managed to smile. "I'm sorry, Mr. Collins. Things haven't exactly been going my way lately. Do you think you're up to covering the rest of the football field story for the Oracle?"
No.
Of course. What's next? It's a court case now. You'll have to go down to the courthouse. Your father is handling it. I know, so you'll have to be careful to be objective.
What? This is not for
I will, Mr.
children
Collins.
to do.
Don't worry. What?
They're high schoolers. Don't go to the courthouse.
Can't you just talk to her dad at
John,
home?
this is the Oracle of Sweet Valley High, okay? It's the premier publication
Right.
of
I
Sweet
forgot.
Valley.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
All right.
I'm
Jesus
sorry,
fucking
I
Christ.
forgot.
Try not to jump to any conclusions. And don't prejudice the case. You can't be a fair reporter if you do. Remember, if you have to have all the facts first. And if you want to talk afterwards, let me know. Okay. What's her name? Miss West? Isn't she on this too? Yes, Elizabeth said softly. Oh, isn't she though? All right. Be in Superior Court at 9:30 on Tuesday. I'll write off your classes. And good luck.
So she
Yeah,
gets
right?
to leave class to go to a courthouse
Apparently.
for a
For
scoop.
trial? Like, what?
The thought of having to watch her father and that woman working together in the courtroom only succeeded in making Elizabeth feel even more miserable. I understand that she is a single lady who is a divorcee. But it's all her fault and not her father who is married.
That
She
tracks.
seduced him.
Tracks for this book.
The telephone call the next night from Todd Wilkins did nothing to cheer her up. Liz? Yes. It's Todd. What do you want? Where are the other drugs going?
There it is.
Liz, something strange is going on. Nothing strange is going on. No, hold on. I'm fucking up. Nothing strange is going to go on between you and me, Todd Wilkins. So just get that straight. Would you mind making sense? He said angrily. Why do you keep bothering us? Us?
Would you mind making sense?
Would you mind
I'm
That's
gonna
a-
use that. I
That's
like
a very
it.
Such a
polite,
good-
I'm gonna use it.
angry thing to say.
It
Would
seems
you
like
mind
such
making
a-
Mind
sense?
making sense.
Could you
It's like
be
such
bothered?
an 80s burn.
Yeah.
Oh my
Could you
Would you
be
mind
bothered?
making sense?
Well, think about poor Todd. Like,
yeah, no. He's
he
yeah,
doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
it's fair. Bup.
Bada bip bop boop.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My brain broke.
It's okay.
Jessica and me, don't you realize we're not what you seem to think? What are you talking about? Oh, you know very well. I do not. Well, what do you want with me, Mr. Wilkins? I've been trying to get you to meet with me so I could tell you something, Miss Wakefield. Oh? I mean, well, I just wanted to
Why
tell
is
you.
Miss italicized? Hold on. Why is Miss italicized? Like,
'Cause it's
oh,
bitchy.
you horrible unmarried person.
No, because she
He's a
said Mr.
mister.
Wilkins, so he's like,
He's being snoopy.
Miss. He's
This is
being
Todd,
a little,
right?
He's being a bitch back to
He's
her.
being a bitch.
He's being
Yeah.
a fucking
She was a
Chad
bitch.
about it.
He's being a Chad. Well,
He's being a real Chad.
A
I
Todd
mean,
Chad.
he's not in the wrong at this point.
Yeah, no, yeah.
He's
Yeah. Oh boy. I mean, well, I just wanted to tell you that I was wrong about something. Elizabeth felt herself listening intently. If only he could explain things, she thought hopefully. If only there was a way to make things right. Even if he said he was sorry for what happened, that might help some. What is it, Todd? She asked, her voice softening. Well, see, I just wanted to say that, well, people make mistakes. I know that. People do things without realizing it, and then they're sorry. And you can't hold it against them forever. It's not fair.
miscommunication.
Ugh.
Ah!
Becca's favorite thing in the world.
I fucking hate it.
Oh, they're not talking about what they think they're talking about.
No, they got it
No.
backwards.
Every time we watch any movie or TV show, and this is this situation where like they get it, they're not talking about what they think they're talking about. Becca has like an aneurysm.
It's extremely frustrating
Yeah.
it's like
It's
you're,
on a
uncomfortable.
very personal level.
it's such a trope, and it's your least favorite one. I would probably say.
Yeah,
It's
No.
a bad writing trope,
it
Yeah.
is.
creating conflict out of miscommunication.
Well,
Womp womp.
I don't know why you're. I mean, this book is. There's nothing wrong with the writing in this book, so I don't know what you're complaining about. No, Elizabeth thought that was true. If Todd apologized for what he tried to do to Jessica, that wouldn't make it all right, exactly. But it would make her at least stop hating him some.
Oh my god.
That's all it takes.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Maybe she
it
can
just-
change him.
yeah, we love
All
doing
men
that.
can be changed.
I just wanted to apologize, Liz, for the way I've been acting. Well, Todd, it really did surprise me. You have no idea how shocked I was. Well, can you blame me, Liz?
Oh,
I've
no.
cooled down some now.
Oh,
It took
no.
me a lot to be willing to forgive you.
Oh no.
The fucking fact that anyone in this book thinks they should be forgiving Elizabeth in the first place. Even if
I
Elizabeth
know. Why
went on the
is he
date with
mad at
Rick.
her? Oh, is that
so-
why?
They had this whole conversation on the beach where Ronnie and
Enid.
Ronnie and Enid and fucking Todd were talking about like, could you possibly forgive Elizabeth for what she did? When it was a miscommunication, obviously, that it was actually Jessica. But even still, all Jessica did was get in his car.
Yeah.
He drove her to a bar when she didn't know they were going there, and then he got drunk and groped her.
He got
But
drunk
they
and
were
groped
like-
her and like yelled at her for not wanting to fuck
Yeah.
him,
And then there
got
was-
into a fist fight.
And there was a bar fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were like, I don't know if I can forgive Elizabeth for that. Like, forgive her for going on a date with a douchebag? That's literally the only
Oh my
crime.
God.
Yeah.
Even Jessica did. The only crime was
Yeah.
going on a date with a douchebag.
Like Jessica did 1,000% worse things herself. Like
yeah.
that date was not
She's
one
done
of them.
much worse, but on that situation, she was pretty innocent.
Yeah, she was literally the innocent, vulnerable
they keep talking
victim
about, like,
in that situation.
Yeah, like, I don't know if I can forgive Elizabeth.
But everything
Oh my
else she's
God.
done has been horrible.
Oh my god.
Anyway, that's
Oh
where
boy.
we're at.
Go on.
Cool.
Oh. Elizabeth's head spun wildly, trying to make sense of what he was saying. Forgive me? But I
Forgive me?
do, he said hurriedly. I forgive you on the condition that you promise not to see that creep again. What creep?
Oh, shit.
Oh, Liz, you know, Dick Andover. You still believe that? Everybody knows it. Didn't Jessica talk to you? Oh, sure. She's loyal as the day is long, Liz. She tried to take the blame for you. It was really wonderful of her. But I want you to know, it's all right. You made a mistake. It's over. I'm willing to forget about it.
Oh, fuck everyone.
Seriously, though, at this point, like, I don't like anyone in this book
Elizabeth,
anymore.
just date yourself.
You're willing? Elizabeth felt she was going to explode. Just forget it, Todd. Huh? Don't do me any favors. Elizabeth, I'm just trying to keep my cool, but this is getting to me. Isn't that too bad? Liz, listen, how about seeing me tonight? Maybe we can talk this out.
What?
What?
See you tonight? You have nerve. After what you did?
Oh my god.
Todd, let's get this straight once and for all. I never want to speak to you again.
Oh, damn.
Elizabeth slammed down the phone and cried for an hour.
Uh,
How
But
dramatic.
at least it was finally, totally, absolutely finished.
I don't
forever.
think it will be.
The end, just kidding.
could've
Chapter
been
15. Oh, damn it. The courthouse in downtown. I don't care. I don't care about the courthouse. Now we get to
describe
do
it to
this.
me in detail.
Now we get to spend a fucking chapter talking about
We're
this.
back to the courts, and in the courts today, there's things happening where things are
Batman.
happening with the courts.
The courthouse in downtown Sweet Valley High was a fine, sprawling colonial-style building. Elizabeth felt a little overwhelmed when she walked in and was directed to the press room.
Hold on, a little bit what?
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed?
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed.
You mean reporters have their own room in the courthouse?
She asked the man in the information booth. Yes, young lady. Right down the hall. Third door on the left. Elizabeth Wakefield hesitantly walked. Elizabeth,
How drunk are you?
I'm
Safe.
pretty,
Nice
and
save.
also I'm used to words starting with W following Elizabeth to be Wakefield.
I think you're pretty.
Thank you. Elizabeth walked hesitantly to the press room and peeked inside. There were large desks around the walls, most of them piled high with newspapers and stacks of official-looking court papers. A few reporters were there, too.
Maybe someday I'll work here.
Elizabeth thought. Mr. Collins had told her to find Eric Garnett, a reporter he knew who worked for the Sweet Valley News.
Hello, Mr. Garnett.
She said shyly. What are we thinking about Eric Garnett? What are we thinking? Does it matter?
Honestly, the voice you were saying
She's the Barbara
would have been
Walters.
perfect for
The
this.
newsy voice? Okay, I'll just switch to that.
Because he's a reporter.
Barbara
Yes.
Walters.
The Barbara Walters of Sweet Valley High, I believe. Eric Garnett said and smiled. Elizabeth smiled and blushed.
Not exactly.
So what can I do for you?
Not doing any of that. I'm here to cover the football field story. The what? All right, I'll do his. Elizabeth
See?
felt her
It's
face
easy.
reddening again. She checked her notebook. Oh, I mean the Fowler versus the Board of Education. He directed her to the second floor and wished her luck. As she walked into the courtroom, Elizabeth noticed Coach Schultz and the principal, Mr. Cooper, sitting in the spectators section.
Were they hanging with him?
Stop making that joke.
Sorry.
Judge Robert Daly was already on the bench, wearing his black robes and looking stern and dignified. There was George Fowler, sitting at a table with several lawyers in dark suits. He looked rather sinister and very determined. And at another table up near the judge's bench was her father and his assistant, Mariana West.
Dun dun dun.
Elizabeth felt an icy stab of anger go through her at the sight of Mariana. Her father was being so attentive, leaning over with his head next to hers, whispering heaven knows what into her ear. Drink! If her mother saw that, she would die. At a third table were Henry Wilson Patman and 2 more lawyers. Altogether, there were enough lawyers in the courtroom to sue everyone in the state of California. Are both sides ready for oral argument in this proceeding? The judge asked, looking up from a stack of legal briefs he'd been reading. Ready, Your Honor, piped Mariana West before any of the others had spoken.
Typical.
How dare
Elizabeth
she?
glared at Mariana West.
Woman?
That pushy creature. Elizabeth glared at Mariana West. That pushy creature didn't even let her father, a partner in the law firm, speak up. She jumped right in, almost as if she was supposed to learn how to do this and it was a part of her job. Elizabeth had little time to simmer about it, though, because one after another the lawyers started talking, throwing around long legal words that left her bewildered. First, one of George Fowler's blue-suited lawyers got up and delivered a towering speech about how the Fowlers were entitled to the football field property because the lease held by the Sweet Valley Board of Education had lapsed and had not been renewed.
Sorry.
Then, one of Henry Patman's lawyers got up and delivered an even more impassioned speech about how a factory would deface Sweet Valley with smoke and pollution, and insisted the public had an interest in the matter. Elizabeth felt her spirits falling as she listened to both convincing-sounding arguments. Easily swayed, Liz. Still, she thought, her father hadn't spoken yet. He was a wonderful lawyer. Maybe he could save the field for Sweet Valley High. Elizabeth was stunned to see Mariana West rise to speak for the high school instead. Mariana straightened the legal papers on the table in front of her, then began to speak. She addressed the courtroom in a clear, strong voice, arguing eloquently that the football field was the heart of Sweet Valley High, as surely as the school building was its mind, as if it was just easier to write that than any sort of legal dialogue. I also understand this is a young adult novel. Elizabeth scribbled frantically, trying to keep up with Mariana's powerful argument. She seemed to know everything about the matter all right. Her father must have told her every detail.
Oh boy.
This is-
Riveting
Surely
content.
women cannot think.
This is boring. This is fucking boring.
Hello, and welcome to another report from the court.
When I think YA, I think land dispute in civil court.
Now let's discuss
But it's
the
about the
taxes.
football field, guys.
Ba-dum-dum. Nevertheless, Elizabeth couldn't help admiring the ease with which Mariana had handled a difficult situation. Just like how she handles something else. Know what I mean?
Whoa.
Hey!
Just trying to make this interesting.
I
You don't-
appreciate the effort.
You know what? You don't have to. You can blow fucking right through it because we've got 30 pages left of this shit.
Jesus.
I hope it's all
30?
Yes.
I hope 29 of those are in the courthouse about the land dispute. She found herself writing in her notebook. Mrs. West was very impressive in marshaling the arguments for Sweet Valley High. Elizabeth had begun to question her suspicions about Mariana West when the judge called a recess and the court retired to await his decision. She spotted her father in the corridor and rushed over to speak with him. She froze when she noticed that he had his arms slung around Mariana's shoulders in front of everyone. What was going on?
Oh, no.
Brian's looking at me because I just clipped the audio.
Because I tried to get her to yell. I tried to get her to yell for a half an hour because I knew she was going to do it on the podcast and she wouldn't do it.
Yeah, well, I was sober then. You should have gotten me drunk before we tested.
Brian, we'll put a limiter on it. It's
Brian,
fine.
yeah, I am the loudest
Luckily,
person
I
out of all of us.
I realized it in the first 10 minutes and I brought the level down.
That's very good, dear. Thank you. What would we do without you?
I saved the day again.
I know.
Oh shit! I just clipped.
You're the hero.
Who's clipping now, bitch?
I'm clipping now. My clip is an effect. Yours is annoying.
When Ned Wakefield walked over and introduced the two of them, Elizabeth could scarcely find her voice. Fortunately, Mariana didn't notice. She was all smiles, bubbling over with her success in the courtroom. She greeted Elizabeth warmly. Is Mariana something?
No, she hasn't spoken yet.
Ned told me what beautiful daughters
No,
you
she
had,
did.
she said. But I had no idea.
I said one sentence.
I thought she was gonna sound sluttier, babe.
How do you sound slutty?
You
Well,
tell
well,
me.
we're not
Sounds
blaming her.
sluttier.
I literally don't know how to sound slutty. Ned told me what beautiful.
Beautiful. You're getting there. I think you're getting there.
That's perfect. That's super hot.
Nerd told me what
Nerd told me
beautiful
what
dirters
beautiful.
were heard. She
Oh my
said,
God.
but I heard nerd dear. Elizabeth blushed, overcome with confusion. Mariana was no phony. She was even someone Elizabeth felt she could like. No phony. Man, this was written in 1983, huh? She was even someone Elizabeth felt she could like. A thought that made her feel traitorous toward her mother. The bailiff stuck his head out the courtroom door and announced that the judge was back on the bench. They all filed back in and took their places. Can I help you?
Sorry, it literally says stuck his head out the courtroom door. That just is so ghetto.
The bailiff stuck his head out the courtroom door. Was like, "Hey, Judge back on the bench." They all filed back in and
Get your ass back in here.
Back in here.
Elizabeth.
The judge is
Elizabeth
back.
felt as if the entire room were holding its breath as they waited for him to announce his decision.
Oh, fucking hell. Should I try to micro machine?
No, I'm not. I'm fucking dying at the Mariana. Just a
Oh my God. It's okay.
Just a
Oh my God, it's Mariana Trigger. Her name,
I don't know why
her name to end
Make me less.
You know, you guys know
Nerd
that the thing I did to get Joanna to marry me was one time we were driving back from Pennsylvania and there was a sign for Roersburg and I just went oh my God, Roersburg, and she literally did. she fucking died in the car and then
She was like, I do.
she was
I
mine.
died that day.
I owned her.
I'm a ghost now.
I mean, I'd marry you after that, so it's understandable.
Okay.
I would.
Fuck.
I mean, I would have before that. It wouldn't have taken such great lengths.
That was our first date. The roofie had just worn off.
So then it would be the second date.
Being a Todd.
When the roofie wears off, it's the second date.
Amid a nearly unintelligible babble of legal jargon, the last part of what the judge was saying rang clear as a bell. Oh, this is the judge.
Yep.
Oh, I think that's what he sounds like. Petitions by George Fowler and Henry Patman are denied. The property shall be leased to the Sweet Valley Board of Education. Coach Schultz, who is seated next to the Chrome Dome Cooper, leaped to his feet and yelled,
Excuse me?
"Yeah, Sweet Valley!
Oh my God.
Yeah, Sweet Valley! Go!" Nobody heard the clerk calling for order and the ensuing din of cheers and excited conversation. Nobody noticed, except Elizabeth, as the Fowler and Patman entourages slunk out of the courtroom in sour-faced defeat. Mr. Cooper and Coach Schultz, hanging out, drove Elizabeth back to the high school, where she was trailed down the corridors by Ken Matthews and the whole Gladiator football team. Who's talking here? Is it
Batman.
Elizabeth?
Wait, where? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Batman.
She yelled, "We won!" And then the entire backfield hoisted Elizabeth onto their shoulders and paraded her outside, down the steps,
didn't do
around the
shit.
school, up the ramp,
She did
and through
everything.
the cafeteria. Afterward, as she wrote the story, kids kept dashing in to ask for more details. "Did your father save us?" "He was there, but did all the talking." Mr. Collins read over her story and nodded approvingly. What does he sound like, Mr. Collins? Do we have a...
Sexy.
McDreamy.
Sexy. Like he wants to fuck her.
Okay. Good, Elizabeth. Very objective.
Oh.
Is that Brian's sexy voice?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm hard.
Elizabeth sighed. She didn't feel very objective.
Oh, God.
But she did feel objectified. After school, walking home, Elizabeth sunk back into her blue mood, like Picasso. How could she be happy when her father... Thanks, Joe.
2 art
How
nerds
could she be
laughing.
happy? The 2 artists.
Not a great joke. Not a great
Period
joke, but
reference.
it was a joke.
It was a joke,
It was a joke.
and the appropriate person laughed at it. How could she be happy when her father was about to
don't get
leave them for another woman?
I don't...
When she
I don't
walked
get
in the
it.
house, her mother said, Liz, honey, could you set the table with the good dishes and the silverware?
The good dishes?
We're having guests. Really? Yes, and I know you kids are tired of your father and me not being home for dinner. This one will be for all of us. That's great, Mom, Elizabeth said happily, giving her mother a hug and a kiss. Who's coming for dinner? Mariana West, her mother said, smiling. And she didn't have a chance to say who the other guest was because Elizabeth interrupted. Mariana West! Yes, and your father has a very important announcement to make.
John, you're clipping.
Yeah, it's fine.
Clipper.
An announcement about Mariana West? Yes.
We're a thruple.
Yeah.
He's leaving me for her.
She's your
It's
new
fine.
mom.
Jessica hardly knew what hit her when Elizabeth dragged her into her bedroom and closed the door. What's the matter, Liz? It's the end of the world, Jess. Mariana West is coming for dinner, and Dad's going to make an announcement. What do you think's going on? I know, cried Jessica, collapsing in tears on her bed for the 500,000th time this week. They're going to announce they're getting a divorce. Oh, I could just die. They're going to announce they're getting a divorce with the mistress in the room.
Yeah.
There, in
They're
the
all
room.
eating
At
dinner.
dinner with the children.
I just
You know.
remembered I'm sitting by the
Listen,
board where I
remember-
can turn
Normal.
your volume down.
Is that kids are
I'm
dumb.
fine. I put a limiter on this shit anyway.
It's a very husband thing to say. I'm fine.
With a beer in my hand.
I'm not too loud? That's impossible.
When he knows he's too loud, he's always too loud.
True. It's kind of my thing.
There's never been a person that has told you, hey, could you speak up?
It's true.
That's true.
You idiot.
Well, now I'm a little sad.
No.
Whoa.
You should be.
Oh.
You dumb, loud
Okay,
idiot.
Oh my
seriously,
goodness.
we gotta keep going with this thing.
Oh, that's impossible. Dad would never make that kind of announcement, Elizabeth said, but without much conviction. What difference does it make what he says? Sniffed Jessica. He's in love with Mariana West, isn't he? I don't know. Yes, you do. The enormity of this treachery had hardly sunk in when they heard Stephen come bounding up the stairs. Jessica threw open the door. Steve, I didn't know you were coming home tonight. Get in here. We've got a crisis. Dad's in love with Mariana West.
My God.
She does have a great name to yell
Mariana
dramatically.
West!
Mariana West.
Mariana West!
What? What? Said Stephen, astonished. He's going to make an announcement at dinner, said Elizabeth. We're not sure yet what it is, but under the circumstances, it's gotta be terrible. Oh no, he said, falling into a chair. But I've invited Trisha Martin to dinner.
Oh no!
That's why I came home tonight. We can't let her be in on this. What the What?
This is
This is the most horrible day of my entire existence, Jessica raged. I think she said that every day
every day.
that has been
Every
in
day.
this book so far.
But also, like, it's because it's horrible for her. Like, it's not because it affects anyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just embarrassing for her.
Because she perceives that it's horrible for her.
I can't be a child of divorced parents.
Like
Jessica raged, stomping out and heading for her room. Okay. It didn't make a lot of sense. As the twins and Stephen dressed for dinner that night, all were preparing for the worst. Meanwhile, Alice Wakefield was busy preparing duck à l'orange, creamed asparagus, and a chilled parfait.
And clams and a shake.
Clams and a shake. The twins heard her humming as she worked. I can't stand this, Jessica muttered. Looking thoroughly defeated, Stephen came downstairs with Elizabeth and Jessica. He hadn't been able to reach Trisha to tell her not to come.
Is clams in a
Oh,
shake?
what a time to be alive.
Is clams in a shake the Sweet Valley delicacy?
Hashtag clams in a shake.
Hashtag clams in a shake.
Clams and a shake.
She would discover that she was not the only one whose family was a mess. Oh, our parents might get divorced, but your problems are on the same level. Your mom died, your dad's drunk, your sister's a drug addict.
drunk
It's
at
exactly
9
the same.
a.m.
Exactly the same.
And you have a saggy roof.
And a rancher.
Saggy roof. The worst one of all.
Which is, yeah, no, it's very much the worst one. I thought the same exact thing. Plans to confront their father and head off the crisis didn't succeed either. Because when they got downstairs, Mariana was already there, looking positively radiant in an ice blue suit. She was sipping a glass of white wine. Not only that, Ned and Alice Wakefield were having drinks with her, and they were all laughing and smiling together, as if nothing was
sinister.
going on.
Open marriage.
Then Trisha Martin came in, looking shy and uncertain. Hello, Trisha, Mrs. Wakefield said warmly. Hi, Trisha, said Ned Wakefield. They were all being so polite and civilized the twins thought that they would throw up. And then Mr. Wakefield raised his glass. Listen, everybody. I was going to announce this at dinner, but I just can't wait. Elizabeth held her breath. Jessica stared daggers at her father. Stephen looked as though he were going to run from the room. I offer a toast to Mariana, said Ned Wakefield, the newest partner in our law firm. Elizabeth stared at Jessica. Jessica stared at Elizabeth. Mariana West looked first at Ned Wakefield and then at his wife.
Then who looked at each other?
What?
Who looked at who then? Then who looked
Where
like
did
what?
Stephen look? Where did Trisha look?
The newest partner in
know.
this marriage.
What did everyone's eyes do?
Mr. Wakefield laughed. They told me I could announce it tonight, Mariana. You're a full partner as of now. All those extra hours we put in were worth something after all.
Oh my gosh.
So that's what Dad had been doing, helping Mrs. West gain the promotion he thought she deserved.
Ms.
Elizabeth blushed, ashamed of her unfounded suspicions, while Jessica looked simply incredulous. Oh my goodness, Mariana. Oh, that's Mariana.
Irma
West.
She's the
Goodness.
slut.
Oh my goodness. Mariana. Murray and her worst blurted out. Oh, nerd. Oh, nerd, you're terrific. Or couldn't have done it with her, you're superb. She threw herself into Ned Wakefield's arms and kissed him on the cheek. Then she kissed Alice Wakefield, too.
Ooh.
Or is this her again? Wait,
Yeah,
who's Alice?
everyone's
Alice
her.
is the mom. Everyone's her. Erlers, you're her the most wonderful husband in the world. I know, she said, smiling and taking Ned's arm. Nerther, we've heard
You were
her
stuck on the voice.
said Mr. Wakefield.
Oh my god.
We're adjourned and turn for dinner. Elizabeth blinked arms. Can't stop now.
Fucking dying.
Elizabeth linked arms with her sister and gave her brother and Trisha a brilliant smile. And then they all looked at each other. And Steve looked at Ned. And Ned looked at Trisha. And Trisha looked at Alice. And Alice looked at Elizabeth. And Elizabeth looked at Jessica. And Jessica looked at Ned. And they all practically skipped to the table.
Oh my god. Joe, do the next page.
Cirque's turn.
Candace.
I'm good, bye.
I'll have a bacon cheeseburger and a root beer and clams and a shake, Elizabeth said to the waitress before resuming her conversation with Enid. Oh, Enid's back. This is the first I've read of her.
Fast forward.
She really hasn't been in it since then.
Oh, God.
It was the next afternoon, and the girls had stopped in at the Dairy Burger after school. Am I finishing this page?
Yeah.
It was really something, Enid. You would have just died at the faces Mr. Patman and Mr. Fowler. The faces on Mr. Patman and Mr. Fowler. At least we don't have to worry about the football field anymore. Suddenly, Enid spotted something over Elizabeth's left shoulder. Let's go, Liz. We've got to get home. Enid was on her feet, gathering up her books. What are you talking about, Enid? We haven't even gotten our clams and shakes yet. I promised my mother I would clean up my room. You did that over the weekend. I was with you, remember? Oh, yeah. Well, I have to do something else. Now. Stop being weird, Enid. What's the matter with you? You look like you've just seen a ghost.
Well,
Okay.
if it's 2 chicks, it's a double clam bake. Get it right.
Don't like the influence this book is having on you.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah,
the
it's
book.
definitely the book. Definitely the book.
Elizabeth turned in her chair and checked out the room. Then she saw Todd and Emily Meyer sitting in a booth near the front door. Oh. Elizabeth turned back to face Enid, her face white and her hands shaking. Nice try, Enid, but I would have seen them on the way out anyway. Don't worry, it's no big deal. Why should the sight of Todd with another girl shake me? Elizabeth wondered. I hate him. They're probably just talking about homework assignments, Enid suggested. I couldn't care less what they're talking about, Enid. Todd Wilkins means nothing to me. Remember me, Liz. I'm your friend. You don't have to pretend with me. I'm not pretending. There's nothing at all between Todd and me. There never has been anything, and there never will be anything, she wanted to add. Out of the corner of her eye, she sneaked another look at Todd and Emily and wondered why it hurt so much to see him smile at the small, dark-haired girl. In addition to being the droid's drummer, Emily was a really nice person. What a bitch. I wonder if she knows what she's letting herself in for, Elizabeth thought bitterly. The time seemed to drag as the waitress brought their food, and Elizabeth and Enid ate, exchanging only a few words. Finally, they could leave. Elizabeth held her head high and wore her brightest smile as she and Enid approached the front of the Dairy Burger.
Who is speaking? Elizabeth?
Mm.
Hi, Emily.
Yep.
Hey. Hi, Emily. Hey. The droids were terrific at the dance. You guys really are something else.
You guys wail.
You guys wail.
Thanks, Liz, said Emily.
Hello, Liz. Hi, Todd. See you two around.
Elizabeth walked as fast as she could out the door, through the parking lot, and to the car. There was only one thought in her head.
Don't let me cry. Don't let me make a fool of myself.
17! Of course, Elizabeth had heard people say before that they didn't really feel the pain of being hurt until afterwards, but she had never believed it before. The time she got her thumb stuck in the door and the time she hit her shin on the kitchen chair, there was no doubt about it. Both had hurt right away. When she got her thumb stuck in the door, and her thumb came off. But Elizabeth...
That's how you tell the twins apart. One has
one has 2 thumbs and one has 1 thumb. One thumb Elizabeth, that's what they call me. But Elizabeth didn't really feel the pain of losing Todd for several days after seeing him with Emily. And then she wished for the other kind of pain, the kind that came at once and went away almost as quickly, like when her thumb came off in the door. because this pain sat in her heart as though it were a bird that had built its nest in there and it would never go away. She had never known She had known it was over, really. She had known it was over, really. It had never even started, obviously.
It hasn't.
Nothing was there.
You have never dated.
Nothing. He's a boy you saw. But seeing him with someone else, that made it final, as nothing else could have. She decided to go on other dates, too. She fucking slept around. She did whatever she could to take her mind off of it. She couldn't just think about Todd forever. She went skating with Ken Matthews one Friday night when the team went out together. It wasn't a real date, though. Just a celebration of getting the football field back. Still, Ken picked her up and brought her home, and under the watchful eye of... Still Ken picked her up and brought her home under the watchfole eye of Jessica.
Eye of Jessica,
That's
like the
fucked up.
eye of Sauron.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. like when she pulls up home, just like Jessica's window, the window of her room brightens and like a beam
red.
of light comes out.
I see all.
Sentence is confusing. It seemed Jessica thought Ken still had a girlfriend, and if she had known he didn't... ... What?
It's all confusing. It doesn't matter.
After that, Elizabeth told herself she was over Todd for good, and she would absolutely stop thinking about him all the time. But she thought about practically nothing else. One night after a sorority meeting at Caroline Pierce's house, at which Elizabeth totally ignored Caroline... What are you doing?
I don't know. I
got
was
distracted.
mimicking Joe.
Okay. At which Elizabeth totally ignored Caroline, still angry at her for spreading the rumors about Kelly's. They all trooped to the Dairy Burger for hamburgers and clams and shakes, and there were Todd and all the Philip Epsilons. Elizabeth tried not to look at Todd. Can you please stop doing that?
Sorry.
Elizabeth tried not to look at Todd, and she could tell he was doing the same. Why is he acting this way? She asked herself. It was over. He never called her anymore. They avoided each other in the halls. Still, Todd was being careful not to look at her, and she was being just as careful not to look at him. After their burgers, they climbed into the Fiat convertible. Jessica was allowed to drive again, and off they went with 3 of their friends in the car. They dropped off Enid and Kara first. When they dropped off Lila Fowler, Elizabeth noticed that they were being followed. "Oh, don't be silly," said Jessica. "I tell you, there's a car on our tail, Jess."
I tell you.
Tell you.
Is she Russian?
I tell you.
I bet it's Rick!
I hope it's Rick. I hope
I
it's
tell
Rick.
you.
I tell you.
I tell you.
I
There's
tell you.
God
There's a
on that
car
tail.
on our tail, Jess. They both noticed it after that. A sleek black sports car trailed them as they drove.
A
and it
Camaro?
was getting closer and closer. "Oh, Liz," Jessica gasped. "I'm scared." "Never mind. Just head straight for home."
But Jessica managed to stall the Fiat at the next red light, and then, in her anxiety, she couldn't get it started again because this was still a time when people learned how to drive manual.
What a day. What a day to be alive.
What a
The
day.
pursuing car pulled over to the curb behind them. The driver got out, walked up, and leaned over the side to leer at them.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yes.
Well, well, well.
Get ready to
That was
drink.
right.
You're right.
Well, well, well. If it isn't heaven and her sister heavenly.
Drink. 20.
Jessica
really
exploded.
He did drink. He did say that.
Yep.
Rick Andover! You scared me to death. I didn't recognize you without your car, because that's all you are and all I notice
She
about
sees
people.
our face.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. He said mockingly. Mine's in the shop. I borrowed that little number. You like it? Or would you rather I took you for a ride in
No
this
one
one?
likes
It's
it.
really good.
No one likes this.
I love it.
Jesse, Elizabeth whispered. He's drunk. Now is that nice?
Oh my god.
Rick sneered. I heard you, Heavenly.
Drink.
Drink.
You're a smart girl. I am drunk, but not enough to matter. Look out. And before Jessica could stop him, Rick Andover pulled open the door and jumped into the driver's seat, squeezing her over next to
What?
Elizabeth. What are you doing? You get out of this car. Got it started for you, Heaven.
Drink.
Rick
Drink.
slurred.
No. I can't.
There's no words in that sentence to slur. Can't let you shit here in the middle of Calico Drive.
Shit?
Can't lay your shit here.
Well,
Quit shitting
start
on the
it and then
street,
get out.
Jessica.
He's slurred.
Elizabeth said. As if on cue, the Spider's engine leaped to life, but Rick Andover did not get out. He floored the
course he
gas
didn't.
pedal, and the little red Fiat screeched down the drive as if it were in the Indianapolis 500.
And he left his car in the middle of the
Jessica
road.
screamed. Stop this car!
Yeah.
You let us out! Elizabeth shouted.
Rick Andover laughed drunkenly, stomping down harder on the gas pedal. The Fiat zoomed wildly, looping around toward the Dairy Burger on the bottom of the hill. They careened past the Dairy Burger, and Elizabeth yelled out the window, "Help! Somebody!" Rick whipped the little car through the crowded parking lot of the Dairy Burger, swerving at the last second to miss a crowd of Sweet Valley High children coming out.
Jesus Christ!
Elizabeth caught a fleeting glance of a face startled. Elizabeth caught a fleeting glance of a face startled and pulling back with sudden fright. Todd Wilkins! Again, the Fiat screeched around the parking lot, scattering people with terrifying bursts of speed and last-minute sharp turns.
Good God.
Out of the way, you idiots.
That was good.
You
That was good.
idiot.
Flawless McConaughey.
Rick Andover yelled, "We're coming through." I think
That
I
was
just
That
a
was
little
one more
Herbert the
Cartman.
pervert.
Yeah, I think that was Cartman. We're coming through.
We're coming through.
Out of the way.
Rick zipped the little car backward, spun around, and tore out of the Dairy Burger lot, almost sideswiping one car and rear-ending another. Man, this escalated quickly.
It really
The car
did.
plunged into the traffic and sped wildly off in the direction of the beach. Looking back, the last thing Elizabeth saw was Todd Wilkins standing near the front door, looking after them in bewilderment. But Todd's bewilderment vanished the instant he saw the terror on Elizabeth's face and turned to sheer fury at the sight of Rick Andover at the wheel. Within seconds, he had jumped into his Datsun and was speeding after them. Car chase time.
Car chase, car chase.
We're going. We're going to Atlantis.
The red Fiat zipped in and out of traffic on the freeway, passing cars and trucks on the inside or the outside as the whim struck Rick. Jessica's contorted face was wet with tears. "Make him stop," she begged Elizabeth. "Rick, you stop this car or I'll," Elizabeth commanded. Rick uttered a harsh bark of laughter.
Ha!
"Scream as loud as you like. Who's gonna hear you?"
Oh.
I'm a little more redneck, I guess, than McConnell.
Yeah.
I like it,
Fine,
though.
fine.
No, you know
I'm gonna
what,
go
Brian?
full-on
That's
drunk redneck.
That's accurate. That's very. I think that's what he
Elizabeth
sounds like.
shot Jessica a terrified look. Rick was really crazy. He could wind up killing them.
Yeah, no shit.
"Oh no!" Jessica wailed as he made a screeching turn down a familiar road. "He's taking us to Kelly's."
What?
The bar. This is the bar they went to. Kelly's.
What is this, Rick? That's no.
Yeah.
Is this? I'll show that creep. Okay.
Oh yeah, because you
I'll
got
show
to
that creep.
fight with the
He
guy.
was muttering. "Nobody shows Rick Andover the door. He knows what's good for him." "They'll never believe we're not with him," Jessica hissed to her sister. "They'll really arrest us this time." Rick's only response was to hit the gas pedal harder. He didn't notice that a battered old Datsun was slowly gaining on them. Finally, with a screaming skid, Rick spun the Fiat around the parking lot of Kelly's in a boiling cloud of dust and sand. He grabbed Jessica with one hand and Elizabeth with the other, yanking them out of the car. He cursed loudly as the Datsun jerked to a stop in front of him, blocking the entrance to the roadhouse. "Hey, get that heap out of the way!" he yelled. Todd Wilkins climbed from the Datsun, a tough look on his face, a look that meant business. Todd! You did the wrong one.
Wait, do it again. Do it again.
I should have done Batman,
Synchronize.
then we would have had it.
Synchronize it.
The twins screamed in unison. You're up, Jonathan.
Wait, what?
Quit
Oh,
plucking your
yeah.
mustache out. What are you doing?
Getting the mustache out of my way.
Oh, I can't hear
Oh,
you.
we
What
can't hear
happened?
John. What happened?
Can you hear me?
Oh no.
Jonathan, are you muted?
No.
I can hear Christopher.
Oh no. Hey.
They might have lost connection real quick. Oh, we got video.
Did you
We're
clip?
back.
Did you clip so hard?
Can you hear? Hello?
Yeah,
Oh,
now I
you're
can
back,
hear
you're
you.
back.
Yeah,
Now I
yeah.
can
There
hear.
we go. Technical difficulties.
Oh, man.
All right.
Clip so hard.
Go quarantine.
Get in the car. Todd commanded them soberly as Rick released them to advance on his new menace. Rick's fists were knotted at his sides and there was a murderous look in his eyes. Who are you to give orders? Growled Rick. Get out of my way before I teach you a lesson. The only one who's going anyplace is you, Rick, said Todd quietly. Why don't you just go home and sleep it off, huh? Rick's fists caught Todd square in the jaw in a lightning punch that took him completely off guard. Todd jerked backwards but didn't fall. Elizabeth gasped when she saw his nose was bleeding. But after the first stunned pause, Todd didn't miss a beat. He came to life in a fury of hard, short jabs to the middle that sent Rick jackknifing to his knees, clutching at his stomach and gasping for breath.
God.
Oh my God! Todd turned to Elizabeth and Jessica. Come on, I think he'll leave you alone now. It doesn't look as if he'll be bothering you for a while. Are you all right? Elizabeth brought a trembling hand to Todd's face. Todd smiled. Sure, as long as nothing's broken. Are you okay? Elizabeth nodded. I thought he was going to kill you. Wait. I thought he was going to kill you! Jessica gushed. Oh, Todd, you are wonderful. You practically saved our lives. I'm so sorry I said you practically raped me. She glared in the direction of Rick and the roadhouse. I never want to see this place again. It's even worse inside. I should know. I'm the one that was there, that it happened to. No one knows that.
Todd gave her a funny look but said nothing. I could just kiss you, Jessica squealed, rushing toward him. She was intercepted as Elizabeth stepped in front of her. Not this time, Jess. It's my turn.
Oh!
With that, she turned to kiss a surprised Todd squarely on the mouth.
Ooh!
It wasn't until the Fiat was back at the Wakefield's house and he was parked in front that Todd confronted Jessica. Hey, Jessica, he said. What did you mean when you said you never wanted to see Kelly's Roadhouse again? Well, I don't, Todd. But how do you know how rough it is in there? I really am simply too worn out to go on with this.
Jessica!
Jessica said suddenly, looking from Todd to Elizabeth.
Oh my God.
Good night. Didn't she literally tell him?
Yes!
It was her there.
She did. And he was like,
Fucking idiot.
oh God.
And before either of them could say another word, Jessica skipped into the house. Hey. I don't know who said that. Todd.
That's Todd.
Sorry, I guess. Hey.
Hey.
Todd, thank you so much. You saved our lives, Elizabeth said. I didn't know what we were going to do. Liz, do you mean that? That other time, it really wasn't you? Elizabeth only looked at him because he was so fucking stupid.
There was nothing else to say.
But, Todd, didn't Jessica tell you it was her? Well, yes, but what? We were all thinking.
But I'm dumb. And I didn't believe her.
That's really amazing. She said it was her, but Liz, I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
I should have known you wouldn't have.
Hashtag
But
believe
you
women.
never could have.
Hashtag
How
believe
could I have
women
been
except
such
for
an idiot?
Jessica.
But
Except Jessica, unfortunately.
only Jessica
But-
sometimes. Only Jessica sometimes.
Only Jessica.
You were to
Hashtag
learn,
believe
Todd.
Women only Jessica sometimes.
You were to learn, Todd. Everyone thought it was me. Especially when somebody has a funny way of telling the truth. Somebody who bears a striking resemblance to me.
Who could
She
be
thought.
talking about?
Got her.
Her brother?
I was such a fool, Todd was saying. But you were so popular, with dates every night. I guess I thought anything was possible. Like cold fusion. Or a world without fossil fuels. You never would give me a look. What? Todd, who told you such insane things? Jessica. Jessica? Well, yes. She constantly told me how popular you were, and that you had no time for me. Well, I could see it was true. I see. And that's why you decided to go after Jessica? Oh, shit. I did that wrong. Wait, how did I do that wrong?
Wait.
I'm looking at these words, and it...
I finally
What?
understand
Jessica?
what happened.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no. It's Elizabeth saying, what? Todd, who told you such insane things. And then he says,
Jessica.
And
He
then
says
she goes,
Jessica.
Jessica?
And then he says... Yeah, what? Wait, what? That doesn't make sense.
What does
That
he
was
say?
Elizabeth. Well, yes.
Okay, yeah, no, that's it's fucked up. No, because it goes Elizabeth, Todd, Elizabeth, and then Todd.
Yeah.
But then Todd says, and that's why you decided to go after Jessica.
Wait, no.
So this is piss poor editing. But I'm just gonna continue because we need to finish this book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't
please.
matter.
Barrel
no one
through it.
listening can tell what
Please
we're even
barrel
looking
through
at.
it.
How many pages?
Go after Jessica? One date? And I tell you, I'm not quite sure how that even happened. Is that so? How's your memory of what happened at the end of that date when she had to beg you to stop grabbing her?
20 pages?
When she had to do what? Who told you that? Jessica! Liz, I barely touched Jessica. I gave her a little peck on the cheek at the door, and I only did that because she seemed to expect it. What?
Yes, Liz, you're the only one I ever wanted. Not Jessica, not anybody. Todd was moving closer to her. But what about Emily? Emily Mayer, we have a history project together. You didn't touch Jessica? No. You didn't go out with Rick? Absolutely not. Todd shook his head in confusion. How could it all have happened? It was impossible. Elizabeth smiled to herself, trying to picture the hilarious scene of Todd kissing Jessica on the cheek.
What a comedy of errors.
Why,
like
she must have been
Shakespeare.
ready to burst into a million pieces.
Much ado
Seeing
about
her
nothing,
smile.
am I right?
Seeing her smile, Todd asked, "What's funny?" "Nothing," Elizabeth said. "Nothing," Elizabeth said.
Get it right.
Whatever she was going to say next was lost forever because suddenly she was in Todd's arms and they were locked in a long and searching kiss. Elizabeth felt her
Searching?
heart searching.
What are you gonna find? Another
They're
mouth?
like, "Nah, what's over here? Nah, what's over here? Nah."
Elizabeth felt her heart pounding and her ears ringing, and she found herself wishing the moment would last forever. Todd's breath was warm against her ear. "There's never been anyone but you, Liz," he murmured. "Only someone who pretended she was me," Elizabeth laughed softly, pulling Todd closer for another, longer kiss that was sweeter than anything she had imagined.
Sweeter than the valley itself.
You killed Chris. You killed Chris.
Truly was
This
not
is why
that
Becca
funny.
needs to do sketches again.
I know. She needs a mic to drop.
I've got several.
Chapter
Fucking
18.
killer.
Don't you just
The
mean
fast
18?
chapter. The fast chapter.
Okay.
Elizabeth floated through the living room and up the stairs to her room. She headed straight for the mirror and smiled at what she saw reflected there. Yes, that was most definitely the face of a person in love. What was even better, she thought, was that it was the face of a person who was loved in return. She hurriedly got out of her clothes and slipped on her nightshirt. She could hardly wait to get to bed. Her dreams were bound to be terrific that night. Wait, she reminded herself. There was one little thing that had to be done immediately. Elizabeth marched through the bathroom and into her sister's room. Jess, she said, we have to talk. Jessica was fussing with her new eye makeup. If I could put this aqua liner, it makes my eyes look greener. What do you think? Jessica asked, sticking her face right to Elizabeth's. I think it won't work. You like blue better. Come on, Jess. You know what I'm talking about.
You don't lose much.
No, you don't. I'm right there. Got it.
I had to do at least one of those.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't, Jessica said, her eyes indeed looking almost pure green and very innocent, even though they fucking weren't. They fucking were not innocent. If something's
It's okay.
If something's wrong, tell me. You bet I will. You know I'd do anything to help you, Lizzie, she said. After all, you're the closest person in the whole world to me. Jessica,
Liar.
there's no one in the whole world who means more. Todd told me
Liar.
everything. Oh. And you believe him over your own sister, she said, switching gears without missing a beat because she's a fucking sociopath.
Because she's a fucking sociopath.
Elizabeth plowed on, paying no attention to the crushed look on Jessica's face because it was fucking fake. Crushed.
Because she can't feel emotions.
He said he'd never tried to kiss you or anything else. Is that all? She brightened. That was an easy one for a pro like Jessica. I didn't add that. What the fuck?
Keep going.
That was an easy one for a pro like Jessica. No, there's lots more. Like what? Trouble again for you, you fucking dick. Like your visit to Kelly's with Rick Andover. I've already explained that. Besides, it's ancient history. As for Todd trying to paw me, well, it's true that he didn't. Okay.
I love that.
But I only told you he did for your own benefit. I'm like Obi-Wan. It's from a certain point of view. Oh, come on.
Awesome.
No, really. I thought I was helping you. Just how did it help me to think that the guy I liked was after my sister? Lizzie, honey, I did it because I felt he was wrong for you, that you wouldn't be able to handle him. Like every page, I think I can't
Does
hate
this
her
book
more.
end with her pushing Jessica out the window?
Okay, real quick Star Wars note. Obi-Wan lied to him because he watched him his whole life and he
Jesus
was
fucking
coming from the
Christ.
perspective of a parent.
Wait, what?
That's fine. It's fine, Chris. It's fine.
What are we talking about?
I made a Star Wars reference. It's fine.
Oh, hold on. I got confused about who was talking. Jesse, honey, you're really full of it. You did it because you liked him yourself and you were trying to get rid of the competition.
Yeah.
Jessica, seeing that she was cornered, tried a different tack. You're right, she confessed. I guess I did like Todd a little, but honestly, I didn't realize he was so important to you. Besides, it all turned out okay because he really does like you. He certainly showed it tonight. He's a terrific person and I'm really happy for you both. Jess, you were spying on us just now, Elizabeth accused. Come on, Liz, I said I was sorry. Can't we just forget it? After all, you make mistakes too. What about Kelly's? I told you about that. Jeez, Liz, I can't talk anymore. I've got to get to bed. My head is bursting. I must be coming down with something. Here, feel my forehead.
Oh
She
my God.
leaned over to her sister, her face pale with instant terminal illness.
I must be coming down with a case of getting found out.
Yeah. Elizabeth ignored the extended forehead. Instead, she shook Jessica by the shoulders and moved her back so that they were eye to eye. Tell me one more time,
Oh
Jessie.
my god.
I don't understand what Elizabeth is even talking about.
I don't either.
It was ages ago. Let's forget it. I mean it, Jessica. Elizabeth was only 4 minutes older than Jessica, but in a pinch, she could make those minutes really count. Like now. Elizabeth was in charge, and there was no way out for Jessica, who knew it. She burst into tears. Again!
Holy shit.
How could you let everyone think I was at Kelly's? She demanded of the sobbing Jessica. How could you do such a horrendous thing to me? I'm sorry. Honestly, I swear I am. Forgive me. Crocodile tears. Jessica's pleading face was drenched in crocodile tears. Even when it was happening, I knew it was a horrible thing to do. I never would have done such a thing to you. I knew you wouldn't, and that's what makes it so awful. But I just couldn't help myself. Feel bad for me. Why not? Because, she started, but couldn't go on. Her sobs turned everything into an unintelligible babble of how she was so ashamed of herself for being so selfish and awful and on and on. But Elizabeth was determined. She was not going to accept any apologies until Jessica made a full confession. Finally, Jessica, exhausting all her self-recriminations, a word that people reading this didn't know, saw that she had to tell Elizabeth the real reason. I knew if it got around the school that I was in that bar with those terrible people, I'd be finished. It's a rule, an absolute rule, that you can't be on the cheering squad if you have any black marks against your name. I couldn't give that up, Liz. You know how much being co-captain of the cheerleaders means to me.
Assistant to the regional
You're not
manager.
even full captain. What about me? Did you care if I got into trouble for something I didn't even do? But you wouldn't have, and you didn't. You're not a cheerleader. And I knew they wouldn't kick you off the newspaper. Sure, some dumb kids gossiped about you, but so what? They do that anyway. Still, I knew nothing really bad would happen to you, but it would have been the end of everything for me.
I couldn't bear it. Besides, Liz, I know you would have helped me if I asked you. Wouldn't you have? I don't know. If you knew how much it meant to me, I guess so. You know you would
That's
have.
the Batman voice I was talking about. She finally got there. I knew she would.
But I couldn't ask you. It all happened too fast. Now the tears came again. You know you're the most important person in the world to me. I'll die if you don't forgive me. Please, Lizzie. This time the affection was sincere. Sure. And Elizabeth was won over.
Idiot.
I can't ever stay angry with you, she said. And before she had a chance to say another word, Jessica threw her arms around her with such emotion that poor Elizabeth squealed. Thank you. Elizabeth hugged her back. No matter what happened between them, this mirror image, this other half of herself, would always be connected to her in some strange and powerful way. And that relationship would be different and separate from any other that she would ever have in her life. Nothing could ever change that. Not for either of them. Jessica's
Make
face
out.
was... Jessica's face was shining with pleasure and relief.
What?
Mm.
Why? Why?
Because they made out.
She really couldn't bear to have her sister angry with her. Elizabeth knew that and only wanted to see Jessica happy. And happy she was, for the moment, if she could feel feelings such as happiness. But Elizabeth had a
knew what they
score to
looked
settle
like.
with Jessica, and she knew exactly how she was going to do it. Oh, wait, I guess
Shit.
we're still beefing. She
Eh,
didn't
still
intend to
beefing.
tell anyone about Todd, since he was part of her fantastic plan.
Wakefield's be beefing.
19. Elizabeth checked herself in the mirror one last time. Looking good, Liz, she told herself. Twisting
I'm gonna
around
start
to
talking
see
to
if her
myself in that
tuxedo
voice.
shirt
Yeah.
was tucked in neatly
Oh,
at the
the
back.
tuxedo
the only
shirt.
she has, or is she has like a closet full of the same shirt? Like a
It's
cartoon
Chekhov's,
character.
it's
She is
Chekhov's
Batman.
tuxedo shirt. They talked about that in the first fucking chapter.
Yes.
Hey, fuck you, that's called foreshadowing, Jonathan. She was finally going to have a chance to wear her new outfit, and she couldn't have chosen a better time. Now for the next step in her plan. Jess, are you almost ready? She called. Todd will be here to pick us up in a few minutes. I don't see why I have to ride to the rally with you and Todd, Jessica grumbled as she came into the room. I could have driven the spider. Not without keys, and I guess Mom forgot to leave them. Elizabeth crossed her fingers behind her back.
Oh, damn.
You and Todd will be
Classic move.
crawling all over each other right in front of me. I promise not to embarrass you, Jess. Maybe we'll do a little hand-holding. Maybe a lot of hand-holding. Now, for step 3.
Shit, we skipped 1 and 2?
She's a sexual predator, my friend.
I
Elizabeth
don't know about you guys, but I'm fucking invested.
Elizabeth picked up the glass of water that was on her dresser, and somehow it spilled all over Jessica's white blouse and blue mini skirt. How could you be so clumsy? Look what you've done. Oh, Jess, I'm sorry. I don't know how in the world I could have done such a thing. Let me help you dry it off. There isn't time. Now what am I going to wear? There isn't another clean outfit in my
Jesus
closet.
Christ.
I'm
Do some
so
fucking
dirty.
laundry.
Jessica moaned.
Mom hasn't washed them yet.
Yeah. Well, since it wasn't my fault, Elizabeth said, guilt and a spark of something else radiating from her eyes. It's up to me to solve your problem. How? I just pressed my best jeans today and my blue button-down shirt that you've been
I lined it with
dying
poison.
to borrow. Jessica was stunned. You're serious? You'd let me borrow that outfit? Yes, but just this once. Jessica made a quick change and then stood admiring her image in the mirror. Look at us, Liz. Do you see something funny? No, you look terrific. I don't mean that, silly. Look again. If I didn't know which of us was me, I would swear you were me and I was you. Backhanded
We're finally going to get
insults.
the switcheroo.
It took all of Elizabeth's ample supply of self-control to keep from bursting into laughter. It was like taking candy from a baby. Switcheroo.
You know, you're right, Jess. You look just like me. What is that horrendous noise? It's just Todd's car. He's having a little muffler trouble. Let's go. That's important.
Muffler Trouble is my band name.
I don't want to keep him waiting. The two girls dashed out to Todd. Jessica missed the conspiratorial wink Elizabeth and Todd exchanged because she was too busy complaining about being seen in such a gross car. By the time they drove to school, parked the car, and walked over to where the crowd was gathered, Elizabeth was ready to put step 4 of her plan into action. We're on step 4.
What the fuck? What
were 1 and 2?
The droids were entertaining. Wait, hold on.
1 was wake up.
I don't think I was paying attention. What was the crowd? What's the crowd for? There's a
What?
crowd?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, maybe
The dance happened, right?
It was a flash forward, so...
But to
Okay,
what?
well, there's a crowd gathered.
A crowd.
The droids were entertaining the crowd before the football rally started, and Dana Larson was belting out a number in true droid fashion, whatever the fuck that means. Excuse me a minute, you guys. I have to see Dana about an article on the droids. I'm going to try and catch her at the end of this number. Be right back. She hurried off into the crowd. I'm assuming that was Elizabeth, even though they didn't say so.
Real.
Wait.
Sorry.
I don't know who the fuck is talking. I've got to go too, Todd. I want to talk to Lila and Kara. She started off, but Todd grabbed her arm. They haven't said who's talking, but they keep just saying she. She.
I think it's on
It's
purpose.
to confuse us so we don't know who's who.
Okay. Don't tell me you're deserting me too, Jess. You can't leave.
Wait, you did the voice.
Do I just sound like Batman when I'm mad?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Oh my god, all these years.
It's why I love you.
Don't tell me you're deserting me too, Jess. You can't leave me here all alone, friendless and unwanted. Todd teased with mock sadness. Then he gave Jessica his most charming grin. Maybe don't flirt with Jessica when you finally just got together with Elizabeth.
Oh boy, it's double love, am I right?
Oh, shit. Oh, don't be silly, Todd. You know practically every single person here. She smiled up at him, the flirt in her unable... She smiled up at him, the flirt in her unable to resist a good-looking guy's smile. She sighed. You're a nut, Todd, but I'll stay until Liz gets back.
Nut.
Thanks, Jess. That will make Liz happy. What? I'll say it'll make her happy, he thought, smiling to himself. What?
What?
I don't know. I don't
What's
care
happening?
anymore. We've only got a
Elizabeth
couple
made
pages
it over
left.
to the bandstand just as Dana finished her number and stepped down to the
Hang on,
ground.
Chris, real quick. I just want to
Yeah, I've
check.
been,
Are we good,
doing
Brian?
it
Pro Tools
intermittently.
things? Oh, okay,
I can't
good.
see you anymore. All I
I
see
know.
is a can.
It looks like it's
All right.
Joe in a can of Bob.
Bovie.
Bob.
It's Bovie.
Brian! What if he was naked?
That'd be great. Elizabeth made it over to the bandstand just as Dana finished her number and stepped down to the ground. Hey, Jess, Dana said, snapping her gum.
Oh.
Every time you wear the tuxedo
Buffalo
outfit,
Bill?
you make the other fashion types around here look like
okay.
they're wearing horse
Rude
blankets.
to horse
What?
blankets.
What? Chris, say that sentence again. That was awesome.
Hey, Jess, Dana said, snapping her gum. Every time you wear that tuxedo outfit, you make the other fashion types
You know,
around here
as
look
the
like
saying
they're wearing
goes.
horse blankets.
He said
What the fuck is a horse
unrobotically.
blanket?
Thanks, Dana.
Is that some racist shit?
It's a
I
blanket
think
that
it
goes
is.
under the saddle.
No, but
I bet you if you Google is horse blanket racist, the
how
answer
could
is
it
yeah.
possibly be racist?
It's some vaquero shit, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna Google it.
Oh my god.
Also, we don't know
It
if
says
Dana's a
snapping her
boy or a
gum.
girl. Dana can
That's
be a
true.
boy's name.
We know.
Oh, yes. Never
Yeah,
mind.
well, you don't.
Do you think
Dana
in
can
a book
The
that's
voice
racist they
stays.
would have androgynous names?
The voice stays. Well, that's why we're here.
Dan A.
We're bringing it into the future.
Thanks, Dan A.
Fuck.
Thanks, Dana. It really is me, isn't it? Elizabeth said, flashing a truly glorious Jessica Wakefield smile. Sure thing, Jess. Elizabeth grinned to herself. It's just funnier because she's the front man of the droids.
Yeah.
Dana, I was having the most sensational announcement for you to make about the Eyes and Ears column. It was a tradition that, every year, if the Eyes and Ears author was unmasked, the guilty party was thrown,
already
fully
said
clothed, into the school pool.
yeah.
Like 5 times.
Elizabeth
about that.
couldn't remember any previous columnist escaping the students' playful punishment. Somebody always leaked the secret. At just about this point in the semester, Elizabeth suspected that it was Mr. Collins and that her time was almost up. I know what she's doing. Well, this year, somebody else was going to spill the beans. I know who writes the column, Elizabeth said, imitating Jessica perfectly.
I don't think you nailed that.
It's for the listeners'
do
benefit.
that.
How'd you get that
Batman
one?
doing
How did you
Jessica.
get that one wrong,
Please,
stupid?
Chris.
Okay.
gotta be
All
Batman
right.
doing
All right.
Doing Jessica.
I know who writes the column, Elizabeth said, imitating Jessica perfectly.
Did I say
Attempt.
perfectly?
Attempt.
Nailed it.
Terrific, Jess. We have time for a little dunking before the rally starts. Who is it? My sister, Liz, is the author.
That's better.
And you're turning her in? What's the matter? You two have a fight? No.
Only every
It's just
day.
that sometimes she seems a little too good, you know? A little dunking won't hurt her.
Dunking won't hurt her.
You're right. Besides, she's a good sport. Not. Oh,
No,
yeah,
she's
I know, I
not.
guess she would be a good sport. But the other one, wait, who does she think it is? She
Yeah.
thinks it's
Oh,
Jessica.
she thinks it's, yeah.
Or wait, she thinks
She
it's
thinks
Liz, but it's really
right,
Jess.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, so
Okay.
she is a good sport.
All right.
Okay.
I got confused too.
Gotta
confused.
follow this fucking plan.
Fuck.
Where is she? Where else? Over there with Todd Wilkins, where she always is. Okay, let's tell the world the news. Dana jumped back onto the bandstand, grabbed the mic, and held up her hand for attention. Listen up, you guys. Have I got news for you? What do we do to the writer of the Eyes and Ears column? Dunk him!
Dunk
him!
Wait. Let's do it again. Do it again.
Yeah. Dunk.
Dunk.
Okay,
no,
someone
him.
already counted down.
Prompt
Oh,
us.
sorry.
Prompt
Oh,
us.
sorry. What do we do to the writer of the Eyes and Ears column?
Dunk
Dunk him!
Or her.
Dunk him!
Or her.
Him or
Dunk
her.
them.
Well, go get her. It's Liz Wakefield, and she's standing right over there with Todd Wilkins. Everyone turned to look. Jessica stood rooted to the ground. Oh, no, Todd. They think I'm Liz. Help me, Todd. Stop them. Smiling broadly, Todd stepped away from her.
Yes.
You're on your own, bitch.
Awesome. Fuck you, Jess.
Rules are rules, Liz. She's all yours, guys. 2 linebackers got to her first.
Jesus.
Ooh, boy. That took a turn.
Escalated.
One took her arms, the others her legs.
They
They headed for the
cracked her
pool, followed
spine.
by a laughing crowd. No, I'm not Liz, you jerks. I'm Jessica. One of the guys laughed.
got the wrong sister."
Give me a break, Liz. I saw your sexy sister talking to Dana at the
Damn.
bandstand. I think she's the one who turned you in.
Nice.
1, 2, 3. Jessica was thrown screaming into the middle of the pool.
Ah, good.
You dumb bitch.
You bitch.
Elizabeth made it down to Todd's side at the pool in time to see a sputtering, incensed, and very wet Jessica surface.
Yeah, she was. All right.
What a great time when we weren't always carrying electronics in our pockets.
Yeah. Brian, this is the last page. Take us home.
Last page.
Oh, shit.
Elizabeth grinned down at her sister triumphantly.
You were right, Jesse. You certainly did look like me today.
You planned this, she shrieked. You planned this whole rotten, mean, contemptible trick. I'll never forgive you. Not if I live to be 137 years.
Bye, Jess.
That's her number.
Elizabeth and Todd strolled off arm in arm. After the rally, Elizabeth and Todd finally said goodnight, a long goodnight, filled with kisses and sweet words and clams, milkshakes.
A few hand
Elizabeth
jobs.
watched Todd drive off,
A few
then went in.
HJs.
Oh, jeez. Elizabeth watched Todd drive off, then went in, closed the door, and leaned against it, sighing happily. The sharp ring of the doorbell announced Enid's arrival. Elizabeth had invited her friend to come over after dinner and spend the night. Elizabeth opened the door. There stood her friend, tears streaming down her face.
Oh, no.
Enid, what's wrong?
Right.
I hope she broke up with fucking Ronnie.
Liz, I don't know what to do. Something terrible has happened. I can't even tell you. It's so awful. But I know Ronnie's going to hate me and I could just die. I'm afraid I'm going to lose everything.
Can I...
What is the dark mystery in Enid's past, and how does Jessica use it to her own advantage? Find out in Sweet Valley High #2, Secrets.
It ends on a fucking cliffhanger. Who do they think they are?
I thought
Fuck this book. The only reason I stayed up is to hear what happened to Enid. I didn't give a shit about Liz. I didn't give a shit about Jessica or Todd or any of these shits. I wanted to know what happened to Enid. You got me excited about it when you brought it up earlier, and now I've got to read a whole
at 10:08
another.
p.m.
I get up really early.
you did the exact voice I wanted you to for that end part.
see,
But
I was Chris.
I thought you were gonna go like, find out in Sweet Valley High #2. Secrets.
I was thinking that it was gonna be like the Ren and Stimpy Space Menace voice of like the "What is the dark mystery?" Like just like screaming.
I would have done that if I wasn't afraid of clipping.
God forbid.
Brian's
God.
worst fear
What
is
is the dark
clipping.
mystery
All
in
right.
Enid's
Brian's
past, and
worst
how does
nightmare.
Jessica use it to her own
Find out in
advantage?
Sweet Valley
All
High
right.
#2, Secrets. Just scream it.
So before we go away, because people need to go to bed, I just want to say really quickly, this might be the best written book we've read on this podcast. I am on board. That whole false sense of security in the first third,
It really.
and then all of
rolled
a
us
sudden
in.
the rising action in the second third that like just really threw everyone for a loop, and then just every single thing that happened with a very satisfying conclusion and then a cliffhanger. I definitely want to read #2 now.
I think we own
I'm on
#2,
board.
and I might just read that on my own. Just for my own
Right.
benefit.
What else are we fucking doing?
Just give it
Might
to
as
you and
well.
I'm done.
I might just do it on my own. Oh shit.
Also, how is it that one of the main characters was technically the villain of the piece?
yeah, Jessica.
I think the story combined with everyone's voices just makes me feel like I had a fever for like 3 hours. Like I don't feel
Yeah, it's
like
a little
I feel
bit like
weird.
that.
I feel weird.
Doing these takes a lot out of you.
It really-
You're gonna
It's
wake up
also
hungover
drinking.
tomorrow.
It's really
and
no. It's exhausting.
sweating.
It's exhausting. We've done this now.
Thinking.
Like we did this last Friday, and now we've done it 2 nights in a row. And I am like, I'm
I
fucking.
can't believe you did
I'm
it
ready
2
to
nights in
take a
row.
break.
I am so tired. I know. I was originally thinking
Yeah.
like, yeah, we're gonna read another book next week, and I'm like, I take a week off. Like take a week off.
I almost bailed on tonight because I was like, I don't know if I could do this 2 nights in a row.
We also almost bailed. Or earlier, I was like, I don't want to fucking
Yeah,
do
no,
this.
for real. Earlier, we're like, should we postpone again? We already postponed once with Joe and Brian.
Well, I'm glad we did
Oh,
this.
yeah.
But also,
this was fantastic.
Sorry,
also,
that was
I want
my
to
fault.
nominate. I want to nominate Joe and Brian. Like the next book we read for the first time, like a new series or whatever. Joe and Brian need to be involved because I just want to emulate Brian's choice for voices.
Would love to be there
Well,
to kick off some decisions.
Because like he just knows exactly what he's here to do.
I keep thinking
Like he gets it.
every
I don't think much.
every
I just
Exactly.
Go
Feel,
with your
I
heart.
just feel the SVU coursing through my veins.
SVU. Every guest we have for doing this, especially lately, every guest we have, I'm just like, fuck, I want this person to be on all the time. Like, I want to do every episode with this person. So,
Yeah.
I feel like we now have this,
I
like,
just want Brian to set the precedent.
rotating roster
of voices.
of voices. Okay, so that was Sweet Valley High #1. That was a fucking roller coaster of emotions and
It was
Double love.
insanity. It was a book. I feel like, I mean, we read Animorphs and we are like, never again, right? We're not going to do another Animorphs. But I feel like with Sweet Valley High, like I could totally do #2.
Can I make
Oh,
a,
yeah.
Can I make a recommendation?
do it tomorrow.
Aside from Sweet Valley High?
Yes, Brian.
And maybe you've already done it because I know you guys did Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Did you ever do the My Teacher is an Alien series?
Wait, no, I have
Oh,
those.
those
though.
books are
I have
great.
them.
They're really hilarious.
Are they good?
Is that by Bruce
Yes,
Coville?
Bruce
I mean,
Coville.
they're
Oh man, his Space Brat series
I'm
was really
literally-
that's
in
good
my
too.
youth.
Staring-
Space Brats is good too.
I'm staring at a pile of books right now in our office, and My Teacher's an
Oh,
Alien.
yeah,
Bruce
I see Bruce Coville's
Bruce Coville's in there.
Oh, Bruce
I
Coville's
just see
genuinely good.
Book of Nightmares, Book of Aliens.
At least in
Book
my
of Ghosts.
memories.
Yeah. So
those are good.
so
They're good books, and they have. Sorry, go.
No, I was gonna say those
Oh, I
are
didn't know this was on my chin the
those
whole
are
time.
in there for the possibility of what we're going to read. So we've done a lot of stuff at this point. We've done Goosebumps. We've done a Fear Street book. We've done Babysitter's Club, Sweet Valley High, Animorphs. So
Oh,
yeah,
what about Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark? Like an anthology.
you know we did that.
Is that
a
bad or
long
good?
time ago on our old podcast, and it wasn't.
We did
fun.
Scary Stories.
Yeah.
I don't
There's not
remember
like
that.
I guess there's not like characters, right? There's not like voices.
I have no
They're
memory
very
of that.
short
But,
and they're
yeah.
very creepy.
What I
Yeah.
remember is that they're,
They're really,
very
really
very
short.
short, and they're not also like they're not as
They're not funny.
They're not also they're not creepy. The drawings are creepy. The stories.
I think the stories are creepy.
You think
Some
it's-
of them are.
I remember reading them for our old podcast, and
But
this
you're
was
fucked up though.
Well-
Like you read this shit when you were a child, and it set the stage for you as a person.
well. All right.
I read them now, and
You
I
got-
am scared.
You got me there. What I will say is my thought for our next book was, so we read a Fear Street book a while ago, and we've already published it for this show. But that was R.L. Stein's like newest Fear Street book. He
Yeah, that
read.
had just come out,
That had just
and that
come
was a
out.
few years ago.
So
I remember those.
so what we've been doing
But
with
we've got some like old school Fear Street books.
we did Babysitter's Club
We-
#1. We've now done Sweet Valley High #1. We did Goosebumps #1. So my pitch is for our next book. I want to do Fear Street #1, which is called The New Girl. And I'm like,
How old is
I'm
it?
okay with something spoopy.
like it's. I want to say it's like late '80s.
Was
Yeah,
Fear
that's-
Street like three? He did like 3 of them, maybe.
Oh no, there's a
Or was
ton.
it a bunch of them?
There's a ton of them.
Oh.
Fear
it
Street
was
was his.
like an older version
older-
of Goosebumps,
yeah.
like high school Goosebumps.
So
I
like
remember he did like another thing, and it was like 3 books about like a family in the house. Oh, yeah, that really narrows it down.
Cool.
well, yeah.
Description.
Good
Is that
story,
just
Brian.
Monster Blood or?
So R.L. Stein did Goosebumps, which were like kids, and then he did Fear Street, which was like teens. And I feel like
Teens.
Right.
Babysitter's Club have been like kids books,
Yeah.
and now we've done Sweet Valley High, which is like teens.
Yeah, and
And-
we have Sweet Valley Twins, which is like kids.
Kids.
And then Sweet Valley
And what-
University, which I've never read, but I can't imagine reading that if you're an actual
Only
person in
imagine.
college.
I don't know,
I'm sure
yeah.
you're
No.
still a fucking teenager.
We have
if
that
you're
book, and
reading
like
it.
that one's so fucking long, like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But my
Do they finally
all I know
smash?
is
I think they finally smash in the university. books.
Ooh,
It was
yeah.
like something
all I
about
know
a
is like
cruise.
we have
Just
to
a
read
romance novel.
we have to read Sweet Valley High #2
We
because
will.
as far as just like writing and plot goes, this is the best written book we've read.
Honestly, here's my promise to you: we will continue reading Goosebumps at some point. We will read Babysitter's Club #2, because I'm into Babysitters Club, and we will read Sweet Valley High #2 because now I'm into Sweet Valley High.
And the Hardy
And also,
Boys.
we're gonna do a special episode after the new Babysitters Club show premieres on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where we just talk about it.
Wait, there's a Babysitters.
Babysitters.
Yes.
Babysitters Club. I'm excited for that.
Yeah. All right. So, Joe and Brian, thank you so much for being on this very special closer to Sweet Valley High #1. What would you guys like anyone listening to this know about you and check out?
Like stuff to plug.
I don't
That's
have
very
anything,
broad.
but Brian has an album of music, which you should all buy because all the proceeds go to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital.
Yes.
And Brian, where could we find that if we were to be looking for it?
www.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
boy.
dot
HTTP.
BRIA BrianWadeMusic.com.
BrianWadeMusic.com. WADE.
That's it.
We bought your most recent album for St. Jude's, and it's awesome. And
Oh,
everyone
thank you guys.
everyone
Thank
else
you
should
guys.
also buy it and support you and support them. Anything else you want to plug? Any of your other music? You have a lot of music.
Music.
That's true.
Vest Ascension. There's an EP coming this year at some point, but no solid date yet. And the rest of the acoustic stuff will be out at some point, but is sort of in flux with the current pandemic. But we'll see. I might decide to release some of it just as it is and get it out there, but we'll see what happens.
Cool.
Sometimes you just gotta be done with stuff and just set it out there.
Yeah,
That's
true.
follow
It's more
follow Brian on Instagram, and then you can see all of his different musics from different bands and all of the things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Instagram.com/BrianWadeMusic. And by the way, nobody spells Brian with a Y, you fucking idiots.
So don't even try it.
He's not Brian
If you spell
Adams,
it with a
all right?
Y, fuck you. I don't even want your money. And neither
You heard
does
it here
St.
first.
Jude.
No, it turns out
Takes.
it recently came out that Brian Adams is terrible. So,
Yeah.
Good. All right, good. Fuck him.
Breaking news.
like, horribly racist, hates the Chinese. Like,
There you go.
Great.
Case
Oh,
in
good.
point.
Okay.
Why use a Y?
Chris, what do you want people to know?
I want everyone to know that we have an amazing, heartfelt, and very well done web series called Pop Sucker Theater that me, John, and Bekah, and a shitload of other people all made together.
Including
and
Brian.
If you just search... Yeah, including Brian. One of Brian's songs is in
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It's like a German death metal
Fucking
song. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Speaking of,
Scheiße, eat that
Ed Boss.
And I'm not going to go through how to spell Pop Second Theater because we might have made an error spelling it that way.
If you spell it with a Y, you're a fucking idiot.
If there's anything I've learned is that I
But,
don't know how to
it-
spell things properly for SEO. It's fine.
If you go to the Cactus Rodeo YouTube channel, you'll be able to find it. And it's a whole season, and we're working on season 2. It's just going to take a bit because of all the shit that's going on right now. But definitely check that out. Check out this podcast. Also check out the Sketchy Show that me and John do together, and with several guests, where we do improv sketches, and then Jonathan edits them to be good.
That's true. I do.
So it's not like normal improv, which is horrible.
Bekah, what do you got?
and you can and you can follow me on all the things that Chris Z isn't funny.
You can find my other podcast at CD Reads, where me and my friend Kelly talk about romance novels. And you can find that at Cactus Rodeo as well.
Yeah.
As well as this podcast and all the Pop Second stuff.
CactusRodeo.com, CactusRodeo.com, and CactusRodeo.com/podcast. Look up Cactus Rodeo on Facebook.
No one's listening still.
I
No
know.
one listens to this part. We don't need to keep going on about it.
www.pessimist.com.
The best, honestly, the best
That's Becca's
The
website.
best way to keep up with all of our shit is to go to not YouTube. Go to Facebook, look up Cactus Rodeo, follow
You'll
the
find
Cactus.
it. You guys know what's up.
Yeah.
You know how the internet works. You'll
Follow-
find us if you want to.
Just follow the Cactus Rodeo page on Facebook because that is where I am most active as far as updating. I have a Twitter. I fucking hate Twitter. It's useless. It's a horrible thing that shouldn't exist. But comics,
We made a mistake.
we made a mistake. We made a mistake as a general
as
people.
a society.
To be fair, that's just because of one dude.
Yeah, but everyone made it horrible.
Also, if any listener has any interest in us doing a podcast where we just bullshit again, email us at I don't know the
Cactus
current
Radio.
email.
What
What
are
are you
what are you talking
asking
about?
for?
What are you trying to make more work?
If
for me?
anyone if
Education.
anyone has any interest in a show that we won't have to edit, we'll just hit record.
No, I'm not gonna do that again. We already did that for like 200 episodes, and we're done.
But if anyone has any interest in it, you already know the email address. Do that, and
It's
Nope,
it's,
at
we'll look into it.
Send us an email at podcast@cactusrodeo.com. No one ever does, so it doesn't fucking matter. Find us on Facebook.
You never know. You never know. You got to put it out there.
Outro ever.
Oh my god.
Worst outro ever. All right, thank you so much for
If you're
listening.
still listening, God bless you.
If you're still listening to this, you are a fucking saint. God bless you.
You're
I love
awesome.
you. We all love you. Stay safe and
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being
being
on.
here.
We'll have you on again. Absolutely. We love you. Bye.
Love you guys.
Bye. Below Grade Level is a Cactus Radio production. You can contact us at podcast@cactusrodeo.com. Subscribe and follow on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify, and follow Cactus Rodeo on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more entertainment and updates.